Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, State Farm, mtownproud.com.
Touchdown, Bobcats, Davis Ragland, pick six. Feldman, that one will get in. That's a good point right there. A shot coming here, that's a goal. Lifted to left center field, gets off the warning track into the wall. Transition three, boom, knocks that one down. And it's a goal, what a beautiful play. Dutton, look what I found over to first. It's a 3-on-1 all the way, yes. There he goes. Over the middle of the field, beautiful one-handed catch by Johan Gomez, moves the chains up near the 30. Trayshawn Brooks makes the catch at the 25, breaks 2 tackles, touchdown, Bobcats.
Do you think he'll set him on fire if we ask?
Hi, Mom.
On KFJB-TV, it's Bobcat Game Day Live.
Back at Leonard Cole Field with big improvements as the football team enjoys their new facilities as well as new concession stands, restrooms, and big improvements over the past year and a half here at Leonard Cole Field. It is set up to be a beautiful night, and it's fun to see all these different parts come together for the Marshalltown School District.
It really is. You look at, we were seeing renderings 3 seasons ago, and then you saw last year being able to get into it, but with a couple tweaks this year, finally all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. It's finally done, and it's a great facility for the Bobcats to compete on.
Yeah, and the Bobcats not, unfortunately, extremely competitive this year. They are at 0-4 on the season. Coming into this one, they take on the Ottumwa Bulldogs. This is a team they beat last year, got their first victory of the season, but this is a much improved Ottumwa team.
Last year, Ottumwa had some early success. Once Marshalltown went down there, you could tell maybe that was more indicative of the schedule. This year, a brand new football coach, but not a football coach new to the sport. He was the 2017 Missouri Coach of the Year when he led Staley High School to a state championship. Phil Light believes in the weight room and high expectations, and so far they've matched both.
Yeah, they definitely have. A team that had high expectations was the 2009 Marshalltown Bobcat team that made it all the way to the state championship game as they took on Iowa City High. We'll talk more about that as we roll along. This is Bobcat Game Day Live from Leonard Cole Field right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
From Radio Iowa Sports, this is the Scouting Report. Now from our studios in Des Moines, Todd Kim.
Week 5 of the high school season features a trio of rated matchups in Class A. That and more on the Scouting Report.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
As the second half of the regular season begins in Class A, 3 rated clashes are on the schedule. 4th-ranked Lisbon hosts number 8 Pekin, and the winner takes command in District 5. This game matches 2 outstanding defenses. Pekin has allowed a total of 10 points and has posted 3 shutouts in a 4-0 start. Lisbon has yielded 12 points and posted 2 shutouts. Lions coach Dylan Hastings says the Pekin offense will provide a difficult test.
And they got that Will Adam kid at quarterback who has been phenomenal for them this year. He's got good wheels. He can get out of the pocket and run and make something out of nothing. And we know they're gonna try and spread us out and send verticals down the field and then let their quarterback do his thing. So, it's definitely going to be that defensive battle and who can get the most stops on that side of the ball.
Pekin coach Clint Weber says special teams have been a big factor in this series. A year ago, Lisbon returned a kickoff for a touchdown in a 17-7 victory.
The year before that, even, they took a kick return to the house. So the last 2 years, we've given up a kick return all the way. Our kids know that, and not that it wasn't a point of emphasis then, but it's even more of a point of emphasis now, being sharp at special teams, because everybody knows an explosive special team play is a difference maker in a game.
Top ranked in Class A, ACGC is on the road at Riverside, while number 2 West Hancock hosts West Fork. 3rd-ranked Nashua Plainfield's on the road to play number 6 St. Ansgar. Mark Pitts has a preview.
Nashua Plainfield coach Chase Sudol says the Huskies defense will need a group effort against a balanced St. Ansgar offense.
It's going to take all 11 guys on the field doing their job, because they'll pound it at you and they'll keep bringing it at you, and you're going to have to be ready every single play. They have the weapons where they can do multiple things.
St. Ansgar coach Drew Clevenger says their defense has to be ready for a Huskies rushing attack that averages 350 yards a game.
You're never really going to shut them down, but we just need to contain them as much as possible and not give up a big play.
Clevenger says he's more concerned with his team's improvement than the hype around the game.
It's one of those things that we don't spend a lot of time on, but we're certainly aware that it's out there.
Sudol agrees, but also says these are the games you play for.
So to be in this situation, it's fun for us, it's fun for the kids. We got to enjoy the moment, too, and just see what happens. Don't put pressure on it. Just continue to do what we've done all year long and see what that does for us.
It's also homecoming for St. Ansgar. Mark Pitts for the Radio Iowa Scouting Report.
5th-ranked Madrid is on the road at number 10 Earlham. A year ago, Madrid won the game 13-6, and Tiger coach Brock Hinkle was asked if defense will dominate again.
We should have a good weather game. Last year, I thought it was wasn't raining, but it was really slick out, and we had a lot of turnovers last year. So it should be fun. Should be a tough, physical game, and we'll find out.
On to 8-player, where top-ranked Algona-Garrigan is at home against Rockford. Number 2 Lennox hosts East Union, and 3rd-ranked Remsen St. Mary's plays host to Newell-Fonda. There is one rated matchup in 5A this week. It finds 8th-ranked Linn-Mar hosting number 10 Cedar Falls. Top-ranked Dowling Catholic goes up against Des Moines Roosevelt. Number 2 West Des Moines Valley is at Ames. This season, Bex is recognizing student athletes that are not just a star in athletics, but a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. Addison Poppin of Webster City will miss her senior season in volleyball and basketball due to an ACL injury, but she's maintaining a positive attitude.
I am still going to volleyball practices and going to all the games to encourage my teammates, because I realize that they also need me there cheering them on, like I have been since middle school and 4th grade.
Olivia Primrose of Vinton-Shellsburg learned the value of hard work by watching her father on the farm.
He'll never give up. He just puts everything into it, and we kind of grew up with the attitude that if it needs to get done, it'll get done, and it'll get done right the first time.
Olivia is hoping to qualify for the state cross-country meet and state track and field championships for the 2nd straight year. She's also passing along her love for running by helping with a youth cross-country camp.
And it's really fun to watch kids get excited about it, and I can show them what I know and how I love the sport and hope it passes down to them.
Growing up on a farm has taught Azaria McDonough of Central Springs the value of hard work and persistence. As a 4-sport athlete who competes in volleyball, basketball, track, and softball, she's in season nearly year-round.
I feel like it's easier for me to just get everything done versus when I'm not in a season. Then I feel like I have all the time in the world, and sometimes I don't really have all the time in the world. So I really like being busy. because it helps me manage my time better.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart. The rest of Week 5 is next on the Scouting Report.
At Beck's, we stand up for the things that matter most: our faith, our independence, and helping farmers succeed. As the largest family-owned seed company in the U.S., we believe in the integrity of remaining an independent family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a quality family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Beck's, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit BecksHybrids.com.
When you think of a healthy relationship, what comes to mind? Is it arguments, secrets, neglecting responsibilities, violence, or stress? These aren't healthy, but can happen with family, friends, and loved ones if alcohol or drug use has taken over their life. If you are experiencing problems in your relationships, take the first step to talk to someone about finding resources or even treatment options. We walk beside you, so you're never alone. Call, text, or chat online 24/7 for free at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Familiar foes meet this evening in Class 2A District 1 as 10th-ranked Western Christian visits number 2 West Lyon. Doug Brook has a preview.
Both teams began district play with wins last week. Western Christian coach Travis Koima says it's another in a string of big games with West Lyon. Koima says West Lyon is great at capitalizing on mistakes.
You cannot give them short fields, and you can't make mistakes on special teams or just give them any type of momentum off a mistake that you made.
West Lyon coach Jay Rosenbaum says Western's quarterback Landon DeStichter makes the Wolfpack offense a challenge to defend.
He throws a really good ball, hits the receivers in stride, and does a great job of finding them. So he's quite a threat, with his arm, and he ran the ball a few times very effectively too. So, we think they have a really good quarterback right there, and we have to prepare for a tough matchup tonight.
Turnovers could be a factor. Western Christian has forced 11 turnovers this season, 4 alone in its district opening win against Cherokee last week, while West Lyon has turned the ball over only 3 times all season. For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Doug Brook.
2A top-ranked Spirit Lake is at Okoboji. Number 3 PCM Monroe hosts Union. It's 4th-ranked Van Meter at Clark, while number 5 Carroll Kemper plays host to Greene County. In 1A, 2 of the contenders in District 1 collide tonight when 4th-ranked OABCIG hosts Ridgeview. Ryan Thompson reports.
OABCIG coach Larry Allen knows it will be a challenge facing a Ridgeview defense that's only allowing 8 points per game.
Well, they're very aggressive up front, put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. At times people have had chances to run the ball on them and had a little bit of success, and other times they've been able to shut the door on them. So, we just have to assess where we think we have an advantage in areas and try to use that to our best of our ability.
Ridgeview coach Brian Wilkins' team will have to contend with an OABCIG offense that's averaging over 39 points per game.
We're going to spread you out and still have the ability to run the ball successfully. Bryson Kohler has been one of the top quarterbacks in the state the last couple of years. Got a number of receivers he can throw to, and the scary thing is the ability to extend plays. We're going to have to keep playing hard and keep pursuing to the football, keep covering, and we got to be ready to tackle very well in space.
OABCIG has won the last 7 meetings with Ridgeview. Last year's game went down to the wire as OABCIG had to rally for a 19-15 win. Both teams are 3-1 and 1-0 in district play. This has been Ryan Thompson reporting from Storm Lake for the Scouting Report.
1A top-ranked Grundy Center hosts Waterloo Columbus. It's 2nd-ranked Wilton at home against Durant. 3rd-ranked Emmetsburg hosts Sioux Central. Class 3A tonight, there's one rated matchup. It finds 3rd-ranked Solon hosting number 9 Grinnell. Top-ranked Algona is at Charles City, while number 2 Williamsburg is at South Tama. And in 4A, top-ranked Lewis Central visits Glenwood. 2nd-ranked Gilbert is at Des Moines Hoover, while 3rd-ranked Pella visits Carlisle. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Todd Kim.
Rainbow Car Wash has been in town over 40 years. New owners Brett and Kim Canaday have been with Rainbow for more than 35 years, focusing on quality, cleanliness, and great customer service. Open 24 hours year-round with 2 convenient locations. Each location has 2 oversized truck bays to accommodate large vehicles. All bays except quarters. And for your convenience, newly installed credit, debit, Apple Pay, and Samsung Pay featuring swipe or tap to pay, powerful vacuums, and a great selection of vending supplies. Follow us on Facebook at Rainbow Car Wash, LLC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by the Marshalltown School District. Embrace the lead. Scooters of Marshalltown. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. And State Farm. mtownproud.com.
Yeah. Welcome back to Leonard Cole Field as we take a look. Jacob Hayes warming up, looking like maybe he's going to get punting duties tonight to go along with at quarterback as the Marshalltown Bobcats at home against the Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight. As let's take a look around the conference tonight. All brought to you by Real Deals in downtown Marshalltown. A lot of good games around the state, Dylan.
There's a lot of good matchups, and I think some interesting ones to kind of check where you're at. Next week's homecoming opponent being Waterloo West. They're 4-0, but they take on Waukee Northwest. They were sitting undefeated last year, hit Waukee Northwest. Northwest destroyed them. So let's see if Waterloo West is for real tonight. We also have Ames versus Valley. Ankeny Centennial gets Des Moines East. It's the Battle of the Abrahams. Des Moines Lincoln takes on Council Bluffs Lincoln. Cedar Falls at Linn-Mar. Ankeny and Iowa City West. Sioux City East travels down to Southeast Polk. Then you get Johnston and Waukee. Newton is at Bondurant Farrar. Fort Dodge at Denison Shellwig. Gilbert takes on Hoover, Waterloo East at Marion, and then Decorah travels to the north central part of the state to take on Mason City. A lot of good matchups, but really my eyes are on that Ames game. That's two future opponents. And then that Waterloo West game. I think they are better, but it's always good to prove yourself against a metro school.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure, as the Bobcats have a really tough schedule remaining here, yes, despite having the 0-4 record, including a Valley team, which is ranked number 2 in Class 5A right now. Dowling is number 1. When we come back, we will break down what the Trojans and the East Marshall Mustangs are doing this season, as Dylan will take a look at both of those programs. This is Bobcat Game Day Live right here on KFJB-TV.
Hey Bobcat fans, are you looking for the latest in home decor and women's fashion? Real Deals is a locally owned boutique right here in downtown Marshalltown. We're your one-stop shop for home decor, the latest in women and teens fashion, plus a great place to get gifts for all the loved ones. Stop by our boutique and say, "Go Bobcats!" for a special discount. Real Deals is open Wednesday through Saturday. Grab a friend, bring your family members, and see what our locally owned boutique is all about. Can't wait to see you at Real Deals in downtown Marshalltown.
Welcome back into the West Marshall preview presented by Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center. Open Friday through Sunday, 4 to 8:30. Well, the Fightin' Jeff Brooks' record looks a lot like it's supposed to. They've already eclipsed last year's win total. They are 3-1 after a huge win, 44-3 against Vinton-Shellsburg. And it was all about Vincent Clausen being efficient, the running backs getting into the end zone 4 times, and the defense lived in that backfield with 10 tackles for loss, and that includes 4 sacks. So what do they have coming up? Well, Jessup comes into town with 1 S and 2 W's. They're 2-2, but I really believe if the Jayhawks are going to win this, it's going to be because they've disrupted the formula that has worked for West Marshall forever. Efficient quarterback play, dominant run game, and a really good defense. If West Marshall can put that formula into practice, they're good to go. And that's the West Marshall preview presented by Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center. Open Friday through Sunday, 4 to 8:30. We'll be back with the East Marshall preview.
Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken and West Marshall football have long been State Center traditions.
And with a year full of changes, it seems like traditions are harder and harder to come by. While where you enjoy it might have changed, Bailey's commitment to delicious pizza and roasted chicken can still be found in every bite. Enjoy the local tradition of Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken, open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30 for carry-out only. Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center, proud sponsors of West Marshall football.
On KFJB-TV, it's Bobcat Game Day Live.
Welcome back for the East Marshall preview presented by Laurel Diesel Services, your locally owned qualified diesel mechanics. Here's the reality. Goliath wins more often than they don't, and last week that was true as East Marshall at 3-0 went into Grundy Center, the bellwether of the class, and lost 42-6. The Mustangs just were not able to run the football. In 16 carries, they didn't amass 40 yards. Farrington was still effective in the air, but East Marshall, it doesn't get much easier for them as they hit another 4-0. But this time East Marshall's at home, and it's homecoming as they take on South Hardin. South Hardin has been blowing people out of the water. Their closest game was a 27-0 victory over Iowa Falls Alden. So what do the Mustangs do tonight? It has to come from balance. Farrington to Eli Burns has become a really good combination through the air. Drew Wieters and Xavier Slifer have to show up, and they have to be balanced on the offensive side of the football. And then that defense has got to keep everything in front of them. If they can do that, East Marshall might just pull the big upset here tonight on homecoming. And that's been the East Marshall preview, brought to you by Laurel Diesel Services, your locally owned qualified diesel mechanics.
When Mike Overton moved to Laurel, Iowa, he had a vision to have a diesel repair shop that would support his growing family and passion for working on diesel engines. Being part of the East Marshall community means ensuring that farmers, truck drivers, and businesses run smoothly. With a large building and state-of-the-art equipment, Laurel Diesel Services is always up for a challenge. When your farm trucks, semis, or other diesel equipment requires maintenance or the occasional repair, take it to Laurel Diesel Services.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
When heading to the stadium, don't forget to scoot through the Scooters Coffee drive-thru on the way to the game. With a variety of drinks to choose from, you can give your school spirit a quick boost before cheering on the Marshalltown Bobcats. Try one of the fall features like the caramel apple smoothie, a pumpkin spice latte, or maple bourbon cream cold brew to get you through the game. Scooters Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. South Center Street in Marshalltown. Proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat football.
This is the countdown to kickoff on your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
A beautiful football Friday night at Leonard Cole Field, 73 degrees as the sun is setting off to our west. This is about as perfect as you can paint it here, Dylan.
This is gorgeous. We were talking on the track, and we just said if the Bobcats play as beautifully as tonight is setting out weather-wise, we will be happy campers up in the booth.
Yeah, that is for sure. Week number 5 upon us. Bobcats 0-4. It's been a struggle offensively, but defense has been a bright spot. 3 forced turnovers last week. That'll be a key here tonight to shutting down this Ottumwa running game.
Well, that's what I've really liked. We saw it all, like you said, a +3 turnover margin almost always gets you a win. So it really comes down to, I really like the play of the sophomore linebackers, most notably Jamison Niehaus. He has been around the football consistently, got the pick last week. But you just look at what he's done. He's really growing into that leadership role as an underclassman.
Looking forward to tonight's matchup between the Bulldogs and the Bobcats. Coming up, it is our Cat Connection and our pregame chat with head coach Adam Goodvin. This is the Countdown to Kickoff. You're watching KFJB-TV.
When you need a plumber quickly, try Century Plumbing of Marshalltown. We specialize in service plumbing, not new construction or large remodels, so we get to our customers faster, from clogged drains to water heaters and everything in between. We can help with a guaranteed appointment and quality, efficient service. I'm Sarah, co-owner of Century Plumbing, and I'd love to book your appointment today. Call 641-750-0108. That's 641-750-0108.
It is our Cat Connection, all brought to you by State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency, mtownproud.com. Kyle Smith with us, number 7 for the Marshalltown Bobcats, wide receiver and DB. We've seen you pick on the season, a touchdown reception in week number 2. What's your assessment of your game so far through the first 4 weeks?
I would say, obviously my strength, my physical strength. I really worked on that in the off season, and then not only my physical but my mental strength. That was a huge part for me because I knew that coming off from last year, we had a lot of leaders leave, and I realized that once they leave, then I got to be the leader now and step up for my team and make plays not only for myself but for the coaches and my players and my fans around me. Yeah. So.
Take me inside a little bit on the DB end of things, right? Because each week you have a different task. You might be going against a team that, like Ottumwa tonight, they really want to run the ball first. They've got over 1,800 rushing yards. Passing is kind of an afterthought for those. And then you play people like Davenport North, and it's pass. So how do you change each week your mentality or your game plan?
It starts in practice, going hard every single play. Obviously, playing every team is going to be different, so it's like playing Davenport North, like you said. They're passing so many times. So in practice, we're focusing more on the pass. But this week against Ottumwa, they run the ball a lot, so it's more focusing on the run, worrying about our own man, and not really focusing on anything else, and just making sure nothing else, no big yards happen, no big plays happen. So.
Yeah. What's your biggest role on the offensive side as wide receiver? I know you've caught a touchdown and had other receptions on the season, but running the flex bone, it's a run-heavy offense as well. So really, is it making sure blocks are good or knowing when your number gets called for a pass out there? What's take me inside your side of the ball there.
Yeah. So obviously we're a run first team, but we know that our chances are very limited when we pass, so we know we got to make the most out of them. So when we pass, we just make sure, we catch the ball, get big yards, and just do whatever we can to help out the team.
All right, so I know you do everything you can do to help out the team on the basketball court as well. I've seen you and Jacob Hayes working on your shot even during the football season. Being committed to making sure all aspects of that are good throughout the year. That's something you're always training for, right, on the basketball side to be ready for that season?
Yeah, right. Football, it's a great season, but I love basketball, so I'm just making sure I'm getting both out of both sports, working on my basketball game while also working on my football game. So just being able to get better at both things while just being able to help out the football and basketball team.
So do you have much downtime lately?
Not too much, no. It's play football, go home, eat, and then go to bed, and then do the same thing. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so I know football, basketball you're involved in. What else are you involved in throughout the school year?
Football, basketball, and then tennis. Okay. That's my last sport. So, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so junior year, as the season kind of progresses along, I'm sure you're kind of thinking about senior year. Do you have any plans after high school, or are you just enjoying the moment right now?
After high school, I'm for sure probably going to go play basketball somewhere. Not sure, 100% sure where. I might take a couple college visits later this year, see where we're looking, but hopefully we have a good junior season, and we go from there.
Awesome. Best of luck to you.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that is Kyle Smith, and he was giving me some grief about my golf game, that I didn't have any, birdies or anything like that. But how's your golf game doing?
Hey, yours is better than mine, that's for sure. But my golf game's not bad, but I'm not nowhere where I need to be. So,
hey, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that is our Cat Connection, all brought to you by State Farm, Tyler Prashung, agency, mtownproud.com.
At Tyler Prashung State Farm, we are M-Town proud.
For us, M-Town Proud is about having absolute pride in the place that we live and work. The people in this community represent everything that I believe in and everything I want to instill in my children.
Hardworking.
Diverse.
Genuine.
Kind. And passionate.
A blue-collar town that has shown countless times we can depend on each other.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town proud.
Welcome back into the countdown to kickoff. Tonight, it is the Bulldogs and the Bobcats coming up right around 7:30, and we welcome in head coach Adam Goodman. It is our Exterior Plus Home Remodeling pregame interview with Coach. Coach, coming off a loss last week, 35-0 down at Newton. I know you took ownership after that game, talking about getting your team prepared each and every week to come out for those battles. Kind of what was your assessment looking back on it, and how did maybe the game plan going into this week change because of that?
Well, I think we gotta, we gotta come in on Monday afternoon when we meet here and reset. To hit the reset button, and that's something we'll do whether we win or lose, regardless, and turn our focus to the week's game plan here. And but I think at the end of the day, we've got to really put a focus on how we operate on a daily basis and just improve in that category.
You've forced 3 turnovers, not too many games where you force 3 turnovers, win the turnover battle in general, and still end up on the losing side of things. How impressed were you, though, with the defense, trying to hang around, keep your team in the game, a really nice interception, a couple of really nice fumble recoveries as well?
Yeah, there was a lot of good and, along with a lot of bad, but we're working on trying to be more consistent, I think our kids are playing hard, and we just got to make plays more consistently. And, I think we had a tough task at hand last Friday night. Newton's a team with a lot of speed, and we just didn't slow them down near enough.
You've forced some turnovers on the season, but kind of struggled to get after the quarterback and get that pressure. Where do you think that kind of comes from, and how maybe can you improve on getting the sacks?
I think, we talk to our kids a lot about visualizing executing plays, and I think it starts with that. And if Coach Furch calls a stun or a blitz or whatever, that our kids understand it from a mental point, and, they go out there with a fire under them and go make a play. So I think it just with their intent behind it.
Yeah. And regardless, I know you talk a little bit about the results and all that kind of stuff. I mean, win or lose, you still have another game. So is that kind of a focus too? I mean, regardless of how last week was, you're moving on and it's a new week.
Yeah, last Friday obviously wasn't or didn't leave a good feeling, and with all of us, didn't sit well. But the sun came up the next morning, and we don't have a time machine to go back and try again. So that's the only choice we've got. And then, that's kind of what we preach to our kids. That's how we operate. We're going to keep our head down and keep working. So, I think we had a good week of practice this week. So hopefully we have a better outcome this evening.
Speaking of practice, how was it this week? Because I know you had a few guys banged up. Johan Gomez had an ankle injury last week. Owen Eaton, he was in and out, and then he was out for the second half last week. So how's the injury and the health-wise?
Yeah, we're not as bad as it may have seemed. I think, watching Friday night's film, we've got some bumps and bruises, but it's a physical sport, so you got to be tough to play it, and you got to fight through some of those things. And we're not in the best position, as far as depth, and we weren't from the beginning. But I think our kids are starting to figure out some toughness and fighting through some of these minor bumps and bruises, and starting to understand the difference between being injured and being hurt.
The 2009 Marshalltown Bobcats going to be honored tonight. I know you weren't here, the head coach during that year. They went to the championship game, lost to A.J. Derby and a really tough Iowa City team, but they got there. They knocked off Dowling. That was a special team. I've seen some of the highlights from that year. What's it like to – I know you weren't a part of it, but what's it like, hearing things about that 2009 class?
Well, I was actually a senior that year as well, so I down in Ottumwa. But, I think that team – was a team that played with extreme confidence. They had a win against Valley. I remember that year, and then that was the first time it might have been ever or a long time. I'm not real sure, but anytime you knock off Valley, that's going to put a good feeling in you. And as a unit, you could just see that confidence and that playing with a little swagger just took over. They were going out there expecting to make plays, and it took them a long way. So it'll be a pretty special night to honor those guys.
Yeah, I mean, there was one, I'm struggling to think of his name, tight end on that team. He caught 22 touchdowns that year. So, I mean, the stats that they put up were pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, quite a bit different of an offensive scheme back then. So
just a touch, that's for sure. Well, it's the Bulldogs and, your alma mater from 2009. 2010 you would have graduated, right?
Yep.
You're dating yourself there.
Yeah.
You're younger than me. I got to go back a few more years. Yeah. All right, we will break down the Bulldogs and the Bobcats coming up right here on the Exterior Plus Home Remodeling pregame chat with Coach on KFJB-TV.
My name's Lake Schultz. I'm the co-owner of Exterior Plus Home Remodeling. At Exterior Plus, we truly strive to build relationships one customer at a time. And that's why we're the Midwest's #1 choice in full home remodels. Located in Marshalltown, Iowa, as well as Lincoln, Nebraska, we pride ourselves in providing quality service on time, every time. Give us a call for a free inspection and estimate at 844-261-6111. That's 844-261-6111. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Back in on the countdown to kickoff. It is the Bobcats and the Bulldogs here tonight as they do battle in Marshalltown. Coach, this game a year ago, quite the interesting one. It was your first victory of the season, 44-7, but that was only one half of football. Looking back a year later, can you still believe that game ended like it did at halftime?
It was a fun night. I think that's the best way to describe it, and it was an interesting night. We came in, we started last year, similar boat we're in now, as far, I think, win-record-wise or win-loss-wise in our record. But, that was a night everything was clicking. Unfortunately, we were only able to have a half. But, we just talked about having that confidence and going out there and expecting to make plays. And, everything we called seemed to hit. So, we're hopeful that's going to be the same story this year.
First time in a long time, the coach across the other way won't be your dad, Brian Goodvin. What's that feeling like?
It is quite a bit different, to tell you the truth. It's something special when you get a coach against him. I'm very grateful to have him on our side right now, and at the same time, we're very familiar with a lot of the guys within their program, and in the city of Ottumwa. So. It's going to be a good matchup. It always is. So we're hopeful the Bobcats can come out on top again.
He told me a couple weeks ago that Thanksgiving will be obviously a little bit better this year.
Yes, that's without a doubt. Without a doubt, yes.
All right, so the Bulldogs coming in, a new head coach in Phil Light, but not really a whole lot of new philosophy. There's still a run-first team.
Yeah, Coach Light, he's a flexbone guy and is the one that made the change down there a few years ago, and they're in their third year doing it, and you can see the improvements that they've made each and every single year, and they're getting really good at it, and they've got some veteran players, so it's going to be a fun challenge for our kids to step up and slow them down.
This is a team, 17 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions. Seems like the defense has gotten after it this year. How do you plan to kind of counter that with your offense?
Yeah, they're very active, and they're veteran kids over on that side that have played a lot of football together, and I think that their coaches do a good job of putting them in positions to make plays. So we've got to do a good job of doing our job and keeping them, off, on their heels. We got to keep them guessing at all times, and we got to execute when the plays, when they come, when the moments are there.
So far this year, the Ottumwa Bulldogs are 4-0 as they've knocked off Keokuk, Roosevelt, Lincoln, and Oskaloosa. Those 4 teams, though, only have a combined 5 total wins. Is it hard to get a real true assessment of this team coming in?
Yeah, it is. I think my first thought when, I think we did we were going over our scout and our reports and stuff, that I think through the first 6 weeks, their opponents were combined like 6-18 or 5-19 or something like that, and ours were like 20-4. So I think I did a poor job of setting, trying to get the schedule set for this 2-year cycle. And but it is what it is. It's how that works, and it is tough because we haven't played, Keokuk or Lincoln or Roosevelt or any of those, or Oski yet, and we're trying to gauge, how good they are based on film. But, again, we got to go back to the fact that it's their 3rd year doing this, and a lot of these kids are seniors and have played a lot of football within this system, so we know we have to be sharp.
5-3 since the Bulldogs since 2016. What's your key to victory here tonight to come out with a nice home win?
We got to force turnovers on the defensive side. We've got to slow them down. They're going to get their plays, but we've got to limit those.
Good luck tonight.
I appreciate it.
All right, that is head coach Adam Goodvin, and our pregame chat all brought to you by Exterior Plus Home Remodeling. This is the countdown to kickoff. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Sports Plus, sportsplusTherapy.com. Wayward Social, the place for bowling, games, food, and more. And Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, helping you develop strategies for pursuing your financial goals.
Yeah, the beautiful shots of fall here in central Iowa as you take a look at the golf team being recognized. It is senior night for the Marshalltown Bobcat golf team as you take a look down there. Ty Faltis is in the mix. Adam Boone being recognized right now, as well as some of the other ones, including Eli Pauley. We had a chance to golf with him, and you can check that golf video out on our YouTube channel. But a lot of fun, a lot of very talented golfers right there.
Yeah, there is, and I'll give a plug for your video. The views are racking up on YouTube. I know my household was excited to see it, so you definitely need to go check it out.
All right, let's check out our scouting report on the visiting Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight, all presented by Century Plumbing. Dylan.
First-year head coach Phil Light has Ottumwa at 4-0. He was the 2017 state champion at Staley High School. Coach of the year in the state of Missouri. He knows what success is. Bringing it in, he said, hey, we're going to hit the weight room, but they're continuing doing the same thing. They're in that flex bone offense, much like the Bobcats, but they're years ahead, and that movement's going a lot better. Their stats are stupid. Maneri has almost 1,000 yards on 85 carries. And then next one is averaging Chantalavon. There we go.
Close enough for who it's for.
Close enough. Close enough. 600 yards, 15 yards a carry. They just move the football very effectively, and then Mitchell, their quarterback, has to throw just a little bit. They've been very effective, racking up almost 60 points a game. On the defensive side, you'll see a 3-4 defense, but it's really coming in on that left side in the triad of Nolan Heller, Brandon Flattery, both linebackers, and Charlie Morgan. Between the three of them, they have 12 sacks and 20 tackles for loss. That's going to be the triad that's going to indicate what the Bobcats can do tonight. This is a stronger Ottumwa team. Is it a much better Ottumwa team? I'm not sure. Yeah. Much like Coach talked about, they haven't beat world beaters, but whoever they beat, they drilled them. And Bobcats don't have a win on their record yet.
Chantalavan. Close enough.
I'm getting there. I'll call him number 2, and I apologize to his family ahead of time.
Wait till we get to the kicker, Bonse.
That's why you're...
Kimfilanavong.
How many letters is that?
I don't know, but I asked the coaching staff. And they laughed, and they just said, get all the vowels.
It's a lot of letters.
It is a lot of letters. That is a scouting report on the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Again, all brought to you by Century Plumbing in Marshalltown. This is the countdown to kickoff. You're watching Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
The equity in your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com.
This is the countdown to kickoff on your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
Back here at Leonard Cole Field as the band getting ready to take the field here tonight as a beautiful night as we approach kickoff, 72 degrees, mainly clear skies as the Bobcats getting warmed up. They're in their blue tops and white bottoms here tonight. Meanwhile, for the Ottumwa Bulldogs, they're in their light uniforms as well. I know you know one of those drum majors right there.
That beautiful head of hair, that's Ian Doves right there. There he is. My pride and joy.
Enjoy it while you have it, folks.
That's right.
You never know when you may lose all of your hair as soon as you hit 21. Speaking from experience.
Yes, and he's got his mother's dance moves apparently out there.
All right, let's get to tonight's starting lineups, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver you the starting lineup. All right, first up for the visiting Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight. We'll go on the offensive side of things for the Ottumwa Bulldogs as Matt Mitchell will be at quarterback tonight. He comes in with 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions, 115 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns on the ground. He'll do a lot of handing off here tonight to Cameron Maneri. He's the lead running back, 949 yards, 16 touchdowns, a long touchdown of 86 yards, averages 11 yards per carry. Kobe Chantalavan, 583 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, as he'll be in the slot along with Brandon Flattery, number 22. He has 15 rushing yards off 7 rushes. Chance Eggbright is a wide receiver, and Travius Brown is at tight end, number 87, with 4 touchdown catches. Morgan Larkin, Coulter, Forney, Weller along that offensive line for Ottumwa. On the defensive side here tonight, Brown, Forney, and Morgan on the defensive line, as Dylan alluded to just how good they are. It'll be Derby, Maneri, Heller, Flattery, Mitchell, Huerta, Lockwood, and Grieve in that second and even third level for Ottumwa tonight. For the Marshalltown Bobcat offense here tonight, it'll be underneath center Jacob Hayes. He comes in, 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing. We'll see how they kind of formulate the plan, see if they can get the ground game going. Tyler England, 179 rushing yards, averaging 3.8 yards per carry. Verdinez, Hinkle, Reed, Schaefer, Hancock along the offensive line. On the defensive side for the Marshalltown Bobcats, it'll be Barker, Hinkle, and Gomez on the defensive line. Niehaus, Ragland, J.J. Schoenfelder, who's really stood out this year with 7.5 total tackles, and Zach Wilder, a linebacker. Juan Perez, Pramada is at corner, Smith, and Griesel. That is tonight's starting lineup. All brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver you the starting lineup. All right, let's head down to the track here tonight as we have the honoring of the 2009 Marshalltown football team that made it to the state championship game.
Leadership of head coach Dave Holdeman, the 2009 Bobcats had a season to remember, finishing with a stellar 13-1 record and going undefeated in the Central Iowa Metro League Iowa Conference with a 5-0 mark. In the state playoffs, the Cats dominated Indianola, Waukee, and Ankeny, setting up an unforgettable clash with Dowling Catholic at the Unidome. In the final moments of that game, quarterback Chance Kriegler delivered a clutch 80-yard drive, finding Jared Carlson in the end zone to secure a 28-25 dramatic victory. Though we eventually fell to Iowa City High in the state championship game a week later, the Bobcats' 2009 season was nothing short of magical. All-state honors were earned by wide receivers Jared Carlson, quarterback James Kriegler, and linebacker John Vance. In addition, the following players were recognized with all-conference honors: Jared Carlson, Chance Kriegler, Nick Timmy, Jake Whaley, Austin Reddick, Aaron Gonzalez, Daniel Wickham, John Vance, and Cole Brewell. Second team honors went to Ben Flagg, Luke Applegate, Grant Carnahan, Dalton Alexander, Alex Levin, and Kyle Carnahan. The Bobcats' high-flying air raid offense not only set several state records, amassing over 3,500 passing yards, but also captured the hearts of the entire Marshalltown community. Their journey to the Unidome brought the town together under the motto, Believe, one town, one team, one dream. Fans, please now turn your attention to the video board to relive. Bobcat football team as we honor their unforgettable achievements and their lasting impact on Marshalltown High School and our great community. Thank you to the team of 2009.
Well, that's definitely an awesome moment right there, especially seeing that video and highlighting that 2009 team. They went 13-1. This is the 15th anniversary. Dylan, I did my math before the game. They lost 42-12 in the championship game against Iowa City High, who was led by quarterback A.J. Derby, and I know I believe he played for the Hawkeyes for a few years, right?
And he ended up going to he went to go to Iowa, and then he ended his career as a tight end at Arkansas. His dad played for Iowa in the 90s. But one thing about this team is I was in Washington, and it was fun to see across that season my social media. Week 1, a little bit.
What
week
was
2,
social media like 15 years ago?
There was Facebook there. It was in the infancy. But just seeing the amount of energy and it blow up over that season, that if you didn't know something was happening in Central Iowa, you weren't paying attention no matter where you lived.
Yeah, and they put up insane stats that year.
Yep.
Chance Kriegler, who we'll talk to at halftime, 3,589 passing yards, 35 touchdowns. He threw 22 of those 35 touchdowns to Jared Carlson. 85 receptions, 1,540 yards. He had 5 interceptions, a kickoff return for a touchdown. I mean, that guy
had
was
those 5 interceptions, like you said. It's stupid.
Just a phenomenal player. As we will head down for the national anthem. Counting you down to kick off. This is Marshalltown Bobcat football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Welcome back to Leonard Cole Field here at KFJB-TV, as well as News Talk 1230 AM and 93.9 FM, as it's time for Keys to the Game, all presented by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com.
When you look at the Bobcats, it's all about third and short. That Newton game, every time it was 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. Bobcats are not built to move the football that way. That's why it was near the second half when they got their first down. They've got to be third and manageable. And when you look at Ottumwa, the Bulldogs have found their bite, or so it seems. Maneri almost has 1,000 yards rushing. Last year in this game, again, it was just 2 quarters. 6 carries, 20 yards. If he's really found his mojo, that's how Ottumwa wins this football game.
Looking forward to this one here tonight, as he got injured week number 1, but Xavier Anderson has been with his teammates all season long, and it just shows the amount of commitment that kid has to be in a Bobcat.
He's a great kid, great athlete, great rep for our high school.
Well, we've got a beautiful night set up for you here tonight at Leonard Cole Field, as the Bobcats just about getting ready to take the field, as the Ottumwa Bulldogs waiting on the far sideline, as well as the Marshalltown band getting the team ready to run out here tonight. Dylan, being back at home can be somewhat reinvigorating, that's for sure.
Let's hope so. It's been a hot minute since Bobcats have not won at home since October of 22. So we have not won on this field. I say tonight's the night.
I say so as well. And here come the Marshalltown Bobcats, and football starts next. Week number 5 on KFJB-TV.
Life can take unexpected turns. Maybe you started college, but life got in the way. At Marshalltown Community College, we understand. It's never too late to chase your dreams. Come back to where your journey began. Rediscover your passion for learning and let us help you achieve your goals. Schedule a visit today at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Test. And here goes Hayes to the air for the first time tonight. Caught by Kyle Smith at the 20. 10, 5, touchdown, Kyle Smith. Breaking other tackles, first down, Bobcats. And this one's going to be blocked back at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Bobcats. Middle of the field, and Johan Gomez catches it. 25, he's loose all the way in for a Bobcat touchdown. One man to beat, and he will. Pressure from behind by J.J. Schoenfelder. Intercepted. It's Niehausen.
Bobcat football starts now.
Back at Leonard Cole Field as the pregame ceremony is just about wrapping up here. Week number 5 for the Marshalltown Bobcats as the Ottumwa Bulldogs in town to take on the red and blues. They get ready to go. You see the captains out there, Sam Griesel, Davis Ragland, and Lincoln Barker tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats. And their blue tops and white bottoms, meanwhile, white tops and bottoms for Ottumwa tonight. They've got kind of that new look helmet here tonight, a little change for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. But week number 5, Bobcats hoping being back at home going to be a good one, as last year in this game, the Bobcats took care of business big as they racked up 145 passing yards, 154 rushing yards in just one half of football, as the Bobcats ended up being 3-0 in the Goodvin Bowl.
Yeah.
And now Brian Goodvin, former Ottumwa head coach, is now an assistant on this coaching staff for the Marshalltown Bobcats.
If you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the old adage.
Well, head coach Phil Light getting ready to take on the Bobcats' first year at the helm, but as Dylan, you alluded to, at Staley High School in Kansas City, he won a state title with them back in 2017, went to 2 semifinals as well in 16 and 19. He was a head coach for 5 seasons. He stepped away, but then moved to Ottumwa, and he's really turned things around. He's the one who really got this Flexbone offense going for Ottumwa. They've ran it for 3 years now, and the Bobcats in their first year of running that style of offense. We'll see how it goes here tonight. Kickoff is all presented by Century 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, the PolyRealEstateTeam.com. All right, Luis Monge, he was out at Bobcat Live last night. I couldn't get him on air, but he gave a big, he's got a nice smile, but he gave a big smile to the camera last night, and he's got a big leg to go along with that smile as he's got it teed up, and the right-legged kickoff is away. 2 touchbacks on the season, and he'll have his 3rd into the back of the end zone. It goes, and the Ottumwa Bulldogs will start their drive on the 20.
He's got a leg for days. That's a big weapon, and we haven't been in close enough games at that Mason City game where he kicked a 47-yarder. But that's a true weapon. He can manage field position, and also field goals are always on the table.
So the Ottumwa Bulldogs will start at the 20 with Matt Mitchell, quarterback, 280 yards through the air, but this is a ground and pound team averaging just over 450 yards a game on the ground coming into this one. They're averaging 521 yards per game. This is a team that can move the chains. Right in the middle of the field, they will start. They'll bring Chantelavon in motion, but they'll hand off to Maneri, and he's going to drag 2 Bobcats on his back, including Johan Gomez, Davis Ragland for an 11-yard gain on first down.
Bobcats are showing a different front right now. They've reverted back to the 4-3, so you're seeing 4 across on that front side for the Bobcats, and giving just 3 backers being Niehaus, Wilder, and Davis Ragland in the middle, but that allows you to have Gomez on the field at all time, including Barker, and then 2 of those tackles.
Breaking the huddle after the first down carry. 11:20 and counting. Snap handoff to Maneri off of right guard. Ragland will drag him down at the 35, nearly the 36-yard line.
As so far we've seen the ground and pound game going right up the middle, and Maneri averaging 11 yards per carry. That's
a lot.
That's a lot of yards per carry. We saw that on the first down run by him, but he's inching his way closely to a 1,000-yard season. Ottumwa Bulldogs hand off on second down and 5, and there's a good job by the Bobcats to pursue and bring him down in the backfield for a loss of about a yard right there as Maneri got the carry again.
And that's one thing where we were talking to Owen Eaton at Bobcat Live a couple weeks ago, and looking at that, and he was talking about how he liked that 4-3 a little bit better, gave him a little bit more run support, didn't have to rely on the linebacker coming up. And with the run-heavy offense of Ottumwa, Coach Furch has put another down lineman out there.
Maneri is actually not in there unless there was a last-second jersey change, but I don't believe so because the fullback, Nolan Heller, is in there, number 34. And so 3rd down and 6, and a timeout's going to be taken by the Ottumwa Bulldogs. We will take one with him as well. 10 minutes to go, first quarter on KFJB-TV.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects. From learning how to build relationships and healthy lifestyles,
And gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Back at Leonard Cole Field, 10 minutes in this opening half to go. Just 2 minutes gone here. Ottumwa Bulldogs taking a timeout. As we have not seen, I thought it was Cameron Maneri. He had the build, but it's Ben Heller in there running the ball. And he really has not run the ball a whole lot this season, so we're not sure if Maneri is injured coming into this game. Dropping back, looking to go to the air for the first time tonight, and it's going to be a sack. Getting in there, Davis, Ragland, Barker, and Gomez helping out as well. Last year in this game, Bobcats really got after the quarterback and made a huge difference as Yohan Gomez had a half sack. Lincoln Barker had a fumble recovery, and there the pressure was there right away.
There it was, and you saw Travius, there we go, Travius Brown going up the seam, and that's his favorite target, but Anga Pramana was there in coverage, so he couldn't throw it.
Back to return is Kyle Smith, as just one return on the season coming into this game here tonight, not averaging anything. He'll let this one go out of bounds on the far side, marked off at the 37-yard line. So good start defensively for the Marshalltown Bobcats, force it a 3-and-out.
You look at that, the last two plays where that defensive line was able to get some push, including Yohan Gomez.
Good pitcher.
I know he is, Yohan Gomez, and then also Hinkle over there was able to disrupt, allowing Davis Ragland to just sneak through in the backfield and get the sack.
37-yard line is where the Bobcats will start on the far side hash as they're on their own side of the field, as the Bulldogs will pack it in tight. 3 defensive linemen, but the linebackers come in and set off the edge. Hand off to England, but flags fly. It'll look like somebody on that left guard spot maybe got going a little bit early for the Bobcats, and a false start will back it up. 1st and 15.
One of the things I think you can notice just in this first play for the Bobcats and that first possession, though Ottumwa had to punt, you can tell they're much more in sync when it comes. Yep, it's on the left tackle there, number 55 for the Bobcats, Verdinez.
So Jacob Hayes underneath center, as he's been steady for the most part, but it's been him under pressure when he drops back to pass. And he will pitch out to the near side. England gets the handoff. He keeps those feet churning ahead, but it's not going to do a whole lot. He'll gain about 2 yards, and it will set up 2nd down and 13. Ball now moved over to the near hash as Lincoln Barker will check out. Zane Moore will replace him. Zane had 1 catch for 4 yards. That was the only completion of the game last week against Newton. where the Bobcats only mustered 32 yards offensively, 28 rush and 4 pass, hoping for much more production here tonight against the Ottumwa Bulldogs. 8:20 and counting, opening quarter, scoreless. First drive of the game for the Bobcats, handoff England. He was met in the backfield. They say the ball came out, but the whistle had already blown, but Charlie Morgan ripped that one away from England. And lucky right there, lucky break for the Bobcats, not a turnover. It'll set up a long 3rd down and 14. It's a loss of 1, Dylan.
And this is what we've seen. This is exactly what we saw against Newton. You get a penalty early, then you get minimal yardage on 1st and 2nd down. Now you're at 3 and 14. You're struggling to protect the quarterback in any form of pass protection. This is not where you want to be.
Adam Goodvin already about 5 yards out onto the field. He took his hat off, did not look happy with what's going on, and getting after somebody down there about being on the same page. We saw this last week. Not enough guys out there for the punt. We saw miscommunication on offense. It's week number 5. You hope you have all these things kind of figured out by now, but I understand, too, you're still trying to implement a new offense, but again, those little pieces make a huge difference because your defense went out there, had a really nice job in a stop, but now your offense is marching itself in the wrong direction.
And last year he was highly critical of himself and the way he prepped his team. This week it's pretty, as far as what we're seeing on the field, it just seems discombobulated.
Well, this is an opportunity for Ottumwa to pin their ears back on 3rd and 14 as Hayes is underneath center. He'll bark out the signals. He will drop back to pass. He's got a man over the middle of the field. Bumped is Kyle Smith, but it's going to be incomplete. Pretty good coverage downfield as Efren Werda as well as Brandon Flattery on the coverage right there. Actually, Mason Gravitt was on the coverage right there. Dylan, you seeing something?
They had a legal motion, but they declined it, so the Bobcats will be forced to punt.
All right, so incomplete. We saw Jacob Hayes warming up pregame to punt, but Johan Gomez is going to be out there as he's got that average up to nearly 40 yards a punt on 11 so far this season. Looks to be a little bit deeper than usual. Shanks this one off the side of the foot. It's going to hit at midfield, and it's going to take a really nice Bobcat bounce all the way down to the 30-yard line. And so after a punt that didn't look like it was going to amount to much, it ends up rolling 20 extra yards after it bounces.
A net 37-yard punt isn't a bad punt.
No, that is for sure. 7:23 on the clock. You're in the opening quarter of play.
And one of the things I'll just talk a little bit about the offense before we shift over is where if the defense is just better, that you got to just chalk it up to that. But we are beating ourselves consistently and not putting ourselves in the proper position. Bobcats have to be better.
Ottumwa Bulldogs punted on their first drive. It was a 3-and-out. An end around, Chantalavon breaks a couple of tackles and busts through, and he's going to pull away. Jamison Niehaus is trying to track him down, and he will inside the red zone. Chantalavon taking that one as they start at the 30. They are all the way down into Bobcat territory at the 11-yard line. Chantalavon running over about 3 Bobcats and staying lower than the other man trying to bring him down.
Yeah, just kept driving those feet. Here you see, looked like he should have been tackled. Miss, 3 misses. But this is why I love Jamison Niehaus. Never gives up on the play. Scratches and claws to get him down. Allowing the Bobcats to at least get another defensive set. See if they can keep Ottumwa out of the end zone.
Handoff left side. Chantalavon again. He'll be dropped at the 5-yard line. And he's got some speed to burn coming into this game. We talked about it a little bit, nearing 600 rushing yards. And he's well over 600 on the season now as we are now under 6.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter of play. as we have not seen Cameron Maneri, normal starting running back here tonight. It's been pretty much Heller exclusively in that B-back role, as he'll break the huddle and head to the line of scrimmage with Matt Mitchell, the quarterback underneath center. Chantalvon on the left side of that offensive line. Travius Brown split out to the far side, and the handoff right up the gut will go nowhere to Heller, and it might actually be a loss of about a half yard, setting up a third down and nearly 3 yards to go.
That's just Davis Ragland in weight room. He grabbed him by the waist and did not allow him out of his grasp. Seeing Maneri over there, he's like putting on his socks and shoes over on the bench over there. First time I really saw him get out there, so not quite sure. It looks like we'll probably see him later. But just kind of an interesting scenario over there.
Yeah, could have tweaked something in warm-ups or something of that nature, as Heller will be the back here. Mitchell underneath center, third down and a long 2. Hand up, no, Mitchell keeps it himself as he pulls it out of the gut of his running back in Heller, and he'll dive into the end zone for a 4-yard rushing touchdown. Matt Mitchell strikes for his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
Great read as defensive end crashed down to take away the run from the B-back, and there is Mitchell, just follows it out. Reads it like he's supposed to and finds pay dirt.
PAT is up, and that one is going to be good. As in for the PAT, Dawson Weller on the season. He has been pretty good. Joel Hallgren on for the PAT right there. He's 25 and 26 on PATs coming in. 5:18 in the opening quarter. Bulldogs strike first, 7-0 on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you want to kick off football season in a new recliner, pass the bread at a beautiful new dining set, or lay up on a luxurious sectional sofa, McGregor's is the right play. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from their friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selections at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
That's unlucky. We're gonna have to get creative. Might be in that valley of sin.
That sounds about where I would be at.
Century 21 kickoff is away as Smitherman will return. No, a fake as Sam Griesel has it. He is wide open at midfield. He's got Gorsuch in front of him, doesn't need it. How about that? A reverse on the kickoff, and Sam Griesel will get the Bobcats on the board. A kickoff return last year by Trayshawn Brooks for a touchdown, and the Bobcats special team strikes again against the Bulldogs.
That thing was beautiful. It was it had both of us up here because it sure looked like Aiden had it, and Sam did a great job of hiding it on his hip. Watch this, absolutely beautiful. Holds it on his hip. Everybody's turned around, and off he goes on the races down the sideline. Nobody was going to catch him except for maybe the turf monster, and he was able to avoid it.
PAT for Monghay is up, and it is good. And we are tied at 7 in the opening quarter with 5:03 to go. 7-7 Cats Dogs on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Well, Dylan, you alluded. Perfect timing there for the Marshalltown Bobcats, and Griesel just did a nice job to sell that all the way.
Oh, just a beautiful. Everybody thought it was up there, and then you see him pop out. Even 26 wasn't even looking at the play, and off he went. And it almost reminds me a little bit of Mason City, where Marshalltown would have those big, awesome drives, and Mason City would get a kickoff return, kept them in the game to where they were able to win it and hold on late.
All right, well, that's quick strike there as Monghay is out for the kickoff, all presented by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate team. As this one back to the 5-yard line, and Ottumwa will run into their own blocking man. And a good job by Smitherman to help try to bring him down, but then slipping out of the initial tackle right there. It's going to be Marcus Johnson, the senior wide receiver DB, on the return all the way up to the 26-yard line. So what looked to be a bad return, he was going to be at the 15. He breaks loose and picks up another 11 after that.
That was all leg driving. Bobcats were tackling shoulder pads, which is not advantageous for bringing people down.
Even I can break a few shoulder pad tackles, Dylan.
I've seen you do it. You were wearing an 80s business suit from 9 to 5, but
oh, I love those big shoulder pads back in the day. That was a great look. We should bring it back. 4:53 in the opening quarter, and a reverse to Chantalavon. He's going to spin away from a Bobcat as he put a stiff arm out there, and he's going to take it all the way in for a 73-yard touchdown rush to take the lead right back. Wow.
They have the Bobcat defensive line confused. That was a beautiful call to your slot there. And Johan got eaten up there, kicked into the inside. Linebackers overrun the play, and he is gone.
Wow. What a play right there as Chantalavon punches it in for 6. And is coming in. He had 5. That's his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. As the PAT is up and good by Joel Holmgren. And that makes it 14-7. Cats trail the Dogs on KFJB-TV. Back at Leonard Cole Field as the Marshalltown Bobcats trailing now 14-7 after a huge 73-yard touchdown rush by Chantalavon right there, as we were just talking about Maneri not being out there on the field with 4:41 to go in the opening quarter. We started out, I wasn't sure how much scoring we would see tonight, but now in the last 30 seconds of play, we've seen 3 touchdowns.
We've seen some things. Definitely, we can see right away this is a much better Ottumwa football team. I think that goes without saying.
Thankfully, we have not seen or heard any gunshots
or any warnings that anyone's escaped. It was an interesting night, but we got Sonic in the end.
Yeah, a year ago. Yeah. Kickoff presented by the Poly Real Estate team. Century 21, like Kristen and Kurt Poly, offer you the knowledge and service that you deserve. Kickoff away, down to the 10. And it's coming near side is Sam Griesel. Has a little bit of a seam. He'll fall through it up over the 30 and marked down at the 33-yard line. So good starting field position for the Marshalltown Bobcats. First offensive drive was a punt. It was a 3-and-out. A false start penalty didn't help them on that first drive. We'll see how their second drive goes here.
And, of course, there was the kickoff return for a touchdown, but right now Chantalavon has 140 rushing yards. Marshalltown has 1 total yard.
Well, ball in the near side hash. Max Reed starting at center this week as Owen Eaton was bumped up last week against the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Jacob Hayes underneath center brings Smitherman in motion to pitch out to the far side of the field. A good pitch. Finds a little bit of a seam as he dives back towards the 39-yard line. So a nice run. It's been a tough go for Aiden Smitherman on the season rushing-wise. Coming in on the season, 25 rushes for 26 yards. Does not have a reception on the year as well, but that was a nice gainer of 6 on first down. Ball resting in the middle of the field at the 39. Tyler England is the B-back. A keeper by the quarterback, and Hayes. He's going to run over a Bulldog over to the 45-yard line, putting a shoulder down for a 6-yard pickup and a chain mover right there.
We saw him really effective on the ground in the opening week against Mason City and then late against Cedar Rapids Jefferson. The pitch game hasn't been there. Jacob was smart to keep it. Use that 6'2", 220 size to get a couple more.
Take a look at that last play. It was a good read by Jacob Hayes to take that one right out of the belly of England. First down and 10 for the Bobcats, and it looked like false start again. Somebody on that right side, might have been Lincoln Barker, I'm not sure, moving down there for the Bobcats. It'll be first down. Oh, no, Ottumwa. Okay, all right. I thought I saw somebody move a little bit early, and you did too.
Yeah, I had flag PTSD. I just assumed it was a 5-yard on us.
3.5 minutes to go here at Leonard Cole Field. And, yeah, I guess I did not see it right there. Maybe one of the ends on the far side.
Just
number 57,
up.
Charlie Morgan, I think, was a little bit off the line of scrimmage there. So, 1st and 5, regardless, Bobcats will take it. Gorsuch and Zane Moore split out to the near side, but head coach Adam Goodvin doesn't like something, and he'll take the second timeout of the first half. Bobcats down to just one timeout with 3:17 opening quarter on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Beautiful night for Bobcat football as they trail 14-7, 3:17 opening quarter. 1st and 5. You notice something there, why the second timeout was called for the Bobcats?
It just comes down to readiness, of being ready and set up for success. He understands that we don't get a lot of chances in enemy territory. We've got to be efficient.
Ball right about at midfield. England with the misdirection over to the near side. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe about a yard to the 49 in Bulldog territory. And that will be second down and 4 yards to go for the Bobcats. Lucky to get a yard right there on that one out to the near side. Blocking just was not quite there as Charlie Morgan, the defensive end, was able to set that edge, and England didn't have a ton to do.
And he's been good. 57's been really good. Now we have 2 receivers on the near side here.
Zane Moore and Kyle Smith are on the near side. We're going to see a pitch to Niehaus. He's going to bring it down. Ball comes out, but it goes out of bounds on the near sideline. Niehaus is a backup quarterback. He got the pitch. He was looking downfield for Zane Moore. Might have had Zane open, but the pressure was coming from behind. And unfortunately fumbles that one out of bounds, but it is going to be a 2-yard pickup right here as Niehaus got the pitch.
Nice job, just the aforementioned Charlie Morgan.
Yeah, here goes the Bobcats on a QB sneak on 3rd down and a long 2, and right at the chains, it looks like a first down. Going to be picked up for Jacob Hayes on the scramble straight ahead. Ball on the near side hash as they are at the 45-yard line in Bulldog territory.
And you mentioned it, and just to show you're a bit of a Nostradamus, you said we're going to see the halfback pass here tonight. And we wanted to see it. It was called.
Yeah. First down and 10 now for the Bobcats. Kyle Smith to the near side. England is the back. Man in motion in Smitherman. Hayes dropped the snap. He's going to scramble out to the far side. He's going to be eaten up for a 5-yard loss. And that's going to be roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness on the play as flags fly. Joe Grieve, the senior DB, kind of came up there and hit Jacob Hayes late, and so that's going to be an automatic first down and a 15-yard penalty.
That play could have went so much worse because Jacob just straight up dropped the football coming out from under center.
So, yeah, that definitely does. I remember that last year, too. I felt like Ottumwa got a few flags that helped them out last year, too.
Yeah, shot themselves in the foot a couple different times.
England now back at the 34-yard line in Bulldog territory. Bobcats on the far side hash. And two guys got going there. Gorsuch, Smitherman. They meet in the backfield, and that's two men in motion at the same time. Illegal motion on the Bobcats. With 1:37 in the first quarter. Those are simple things in Week 5 you should probably not be seeing. We saw it last week, and, it's just things that you just can't have because the window is so narrow for the Bobcats, Dylan.
Yeah, you cannot. They don't have a lot of extra, and then you have Lincoln Barker.
Oh, man.
And some of this is from the sideline. This isn't just from the – I'm seeing conflicting
2 seconds, 1 second on the play clock, and a handoff to England. He might have his first touchdown of the season, and he will as he gets into the end zone. It is a 39-yard rushing touchdown for Tyler England. He hits the end zone for the first time in his varsity career.
He had one against Newton that got called back for holding. This one, he got out of the – once he hits the straightaway, that kid can pick him up and put him down quickly. There he goes, and there he goes, picking him up, putting him down, going in for 6. That's got to feel good if you're a Bobcat.
106 in the opening quarter. We have had a plethora of touchdowns already as Monghay's PAT is good, and we are knotted up at 14 apiece between the Bobcats and the Bulldogs on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects, from learning how to build relationships and healthy lifestyles,
and gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Well, Tyler England, his first rushing touchdown of the season, a 39-yarder. As the Bobcats were, you were wondering, hey, is there going to be a big play happening? And right there, it happened again. And it was on a play where there was 2 seconds on the play clock and a lot of confusion, but sometimes that gets everybody, including the defense, a little bit off their mark as well.
And it's just great to see a sustained drive in meaningful moments for the Bobcats.
Monghay with the kickoff. It's going to hit at the 5-yard line, and Ottumwa will pick it up and get back to about the 15-yard line. So Monghay's kickoff just died right at the 5 as it was all brought to you by the Poly Real Estate Team, Century 21. And, doing the best he could. Cade Lockwood on the return. But that only gets him at the 15th. So you score, you tie it up, and then you like what you see on special teams right there.
And Luis Monghay came off to a big high five from Coach Adam Goodvin. He was very happy, very effective with his kickoffs tonight.
He's like you. He likes to go to the barber, right? I was noticing he's got a nice haircut last night.
You got to be high and tight. You've got to present yourself like $1 million.
1 minute to go in the opening quarter of play. Chantalavon gets the end-around handoff, pushes a Bobcat off of him, and he's finally drugged down, but it's after first-yard territory, first down yardage. As coming up with the stop, it's going to be Unga Pramana for the Marshalltown Bobcats. So Pramana, a good week last week as he had 5 total tackles, and also he had himself a fumble recovery and a forced fumble on the same play.
Some would say that could have been Lily May's sweet play of the game.
Some would say.
It would be me.
Yeah.
So the Pramana family out there, That was my vote.
And actually, it wasn't Pramana. He busted off of Pramana for the first down. It was Griesel who ended up making that tackle on the play. Handoff right up the middle to Heller. He's going to keep his legs churning ahead over the 30-yard line and finally brought down on the far side hashes on the 33-yard line. So after a first down carry, it's a nice second down run as we tick down our final seconds in this opening quarter. Jackson Hinkle is out. Nathan Sinclair is in on that defensive line. Sinclair and a few other guys have mixed in on the younger classmen and have been a real bright spot as our final seconds will wear out here in the opening quarter. It's been an entertaining one, 14-14 at the end of the first quarter. A scoreboard update with Jeff Brooks on the other side. This is Bobcat Football on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Brooks here with the Central State Bank scoreboard update for you. Looking at homecoming in State Center tonight for the West Marshall Trojans. Right now in the second quarter, they trailed Jessup 10-13. West Marshall 3-1, Jessup 2-2. East Marshall tonight against South Hardin, having a little bit of a tough time against the 4-0 South Hardin Tigers. South Hardin leads 27-0 against East Marshall in the second quarter. Ankeny versus Iowa City West, handing it to them 24-7 at halftime. Roosevelt against Dowling tonight, and Roosevelt struggling against Dowling. As you might guess, Dowling leads 37-0 at halftime. I'll now return you to award-winning coverage of the Marshalltown Bobcat football team with Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze right here on News Talk 1230 KFJB.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, we are living in the past. Award. Appreciate that as always. You got to get that award win again every now and then, right, Dylan? I mean, we didn't win the award for nothing.
That's right.
Best play-by-play crew, small market TV.
That's right. And
2 years ago.
Hey, an award's an award.
We didn't put in for last year. We would have won it again. Hand off to Heller up the middle on second down and 6 coming out of the timeout in between quarters. And that's a first down run by Heller. 11:55 in the second quarter, and down on the field, it's going to be Kobe Chantalavan, and he is injured on the play, and one of their best rushers, second leading rusher coming into this one.
Has 140 yards already tonight with 2 huge runs. He's been really effective.
So Chantalavan is down on the turf, and going back to your keys to this game here tonight, how do you think both teams are kind of playing out on that side?
I'll talk Bobcats first. First drive, they had to punt. But on that sustained drive, you got 6-7 yards on first down. So you had a second and 3 or 4. Then you got the penalty from Ottumwa, 1st and 5. They were always ahead of the stick, so they were very, very effective. And then for the Bulldogs, they do have a bite. That right side of the line, I'm going to shout out Dawson Weller, number 72, Dylan Forney, great name, better guard, and Brian Coulter as a center. They have just created these incredible holes for huge running lanes. So far, I think both teams are living up to their keys to the game, and that's why we're sitting at 14-14 after one quarter.
Well, if you missed it earlier, Sam Griesel with an exceptional fake reverse, and he had a kickoff return for a touchdown, about a 90-yarder in that range. As we take a look at the replay here on KFJB-TV, as almost a 95-yarder, but didn't matter as Ottumwa was not catching up, as Sam Griesel just doing a nice job to get the touchdown. And it doesn't matter. You may not be ranked number 1, but you are number 1 when you return it for a touchdown, right? That's right. You get the right to hold up number 1.
I would like to know, I would like a scientist to do a study like the amount of endorphins released when you know you're gone.
A lot.
Yeah, it's got to be I never had a 92-yard touchdown kickoff return. Maybe you did, Brandon, but I did not.
No, I did not. Never had a touchdown. I played defense.
Yeah.
I had, I think I had a sack or two, maybe.
And
that was pretty good. But
yeah, it's that 92-yard tutty's got to feel real nice.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Chantalavon helped off the field. Heller will get the handoff on 1st down and 10 at the 40. Still on their own side of the field. The helmet comes off for a Bobcat. That's Owen Eaton. Good to see he's back in this week for the Bobcats. Heller gets the carry. It's going to be a gain of nearly 4 yards. 2nd down and 6.
And just to go back to Maneri, he had been they had done different socks. They had retaped his ankles different times. And now not seeing like they're doing much of anything. So
I'm guessing something happened in warm-ups.
I'm guessing something happened in warm-ups. They tried to get him ready, and it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, at least not in the first half.
Well, Heller's not been much of a letdown, I'll say that. 2nd down and 6. Pitch out to the far side to Flattery, and he kind of hesitates and then extends it to the sideline. He's going to pick up 1st down yardage as Juan Pablo Perez tried to make the tackle on the far side, could not come up with the tackle, and it's going to be a 1st down run up to the 45-yard line in Bobcat territory now, as that will pick him up just over 10 yards on that run right there.
And you look at that left side of the line. We gave shout out to the right side. Then you look at Charlie Morgan and Braden Larkin on the left side, and they're the ones initiating contact with the Bobcat defenders. Bobcats definitely are playing defense on their heels and allowing themselves to get blocked for big chunks on the running play.
11:02 and counting in the 2nd quarter, and Flattery, his 2nd handoff in a row to him, and he's all the way down to the 25-yard line. It's a 20-yard pickup. He went off the left edge of the offensive line and then shot ahead. It looked like a couple of arm tackle attempts by the Bobcat defenders, but again, Dylan, you mentioned it earlier, a lot of high tackling, and you can't do that against a good running team.
Yeah, just that little one step and go, and they had just opened up a wide open from Brian Coulter from inside out, just kicked out those defensive tackles like they were nothing.
1st and 10 at the 25, ball on the far side hash. Man comes in motion. It's Flattery again, and he'll go around the edge, and he's going to be down to the 20-yard line. Actually, they're going to mark him at the 21. So it's a 4-yard pickup. Flattery now getting more of the handoffs because Kobe Chantalavon was injured on this drive. Cameron Maneri, their leading back, almost a 1,000-yard rusher. We have not seen him here tonight. And Chantalavon is over on the far sideline sprinting, trying to warm up and get back into this game.
Yeah, and it didn't look like – it was hard to see what he injured on that play, so it's interesting to see what he is exactly working on.
End around, and Werda will get his first carry of the night, and it's a nice play by the defense as Niehaus in there to help make the tackle. And that's going to set up a 3rd down after it was 2nd and 6. It's going to be 3rd down and about 7 yards to go or so, so a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, this is a really great play. Niehaus was able to keep an arm free on both sides, made the running back make a choice, and Niehaus was able to just one arm it. Really good young linebacker.
3rd down and 7. Approaching 9 minutes to go before halftime. Fake a pitch out. Mitchell's going to go to the air to pass. He finds Heller at the 20. Breaks the tackle down to the 10. Runs over Smitherman as he gets down to the 7-yard line. Wow. About a 14-yard pickup to move the chains.
Jonathan Schaefer was right there, and it was a great little throw there by Mitchell. You see 68 come out and get great pressure. Mitchell just throws it out there. And Sam, if he could have got the tackle, might have been short of the 1st down, but a great job of holding on at the end.
So Heller has been the highlight here tonight, filling in for Cam Maneri, as he'll be the back as Mitchell's underneath center as they are in the red zone now. Tied at 14 apiece between both teams. Heller gets a handoff on 1st and goal. And he's going to march himself all the way down to the 2 as he keeps that pile moving. A 5-yard pickup as it looks like Chantalavon is getting ready to come back into this game as Efren Huerta will check out. So, again, the speedster's back into the game. The big bruiser is in there as he's been doing a nice job as well, number 34 in Heller. And, boy, this is a pretty good coming-out party for Heller here tonight. He hasn't seen a lot of run at running back. The backup, Justin Aukenfels, we're not seeing him here tonight as well, number 23. He's that backup normally to Maneri. Put Chantalavon in motion. Heller right up the gut from 2 yards out. He'll punch it in for a touchdown as he falls in as the Bobcats can't bring him down. And it is now 20-14. Bulldogs striking right back with a page right out of the playbook for the Bobcats in that flex-bone offense, just taking it down the ground and pound for the touchdown and 6.
Yeah, without Chantalavon, they don't have a lot of the big 40, 50 yards, but Heller just kept getting 8, get 6, and then Mitchell with a wonderful pass on 3rd and long, and Ottumwa found themselves where they've already been multiple times in the end zone.
PAT is up, and this will be good again for Joel Hallgren, and it is now 21-14 our score. Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
Welcome back. Marshalltown just was scored on, making it 21-14. Heller for the Bulldogs from 2 yards out scored the touchdown, 21-14. Now it's time for the kickoff. Kickoff presented by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate Team. New name, same amazing service, now with more options. Joel Hallgren in. Actually, number 23, Justin Aukenfels, will handle the kickoff duties for Ottumwa. Aiden Smitherman and Sam Griesel back. It's a squib kick up the middle, and Sam's going to get it at the 10. Up to the 15, to the 20, 25, looks to split tackle. He will be brought down at the 25-yard line by number 9, Caden Lockwood, the senior DB at 5'8", 150, put on the wood to Sam Griesel.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 25-yard line. And so they'll see if they can answer exactly. I mean, this is Ottumwa doing what they just did is exactly what the Bobcats want to do. So if you are anywhere where you need to be running this flexbone offense, that's what you got to do right here. And last drive, they proved it. Tyler England with a 39-yard touchdown rush as the Bobcats go to work on the near side hash. End around to Smitherman. He still does not have that play figured out whatsoever. He'll be spun around as he gets a little bit too packed in tight right there. Coming around the edge, it just doesn't give himself enough room to really work.
He looked like he had movement. He had places to go, and he just stopped in the backfield. If your feet are dead, you're dead, because that just he didn't do himself any favors on that play.
At the end, luckily, will be a 2-yard gain. Spacing, I guess, is the biggest thing that I've noticed has been way off this year.
And
running this type of offense.
And spacing is all timing, spacing, steps, and Coach Goodman will talk a lot about that. Yep. Everything is measured by steps.
Smitherman comes in motion. Hayes is going to go to the air. He's looking deep for Kyle Smith. He'll throw it late. Smith is going to die back at the 45. He should probably have not thrown that one, but luckily it will be incomplete, as that's when you sail a couple rows into the stands if they were a little bit closer here, Dylan.
Or you get rid of it a little bit early, because he did have one-on-one coverage. He did have one-on-one with Kyle. I like that they went. Here you see Kyle. He has some separation. I think Jacob got happy feet. He had time, And I think because he hasn't had time consistently, he started kind of jumping around before he needed to. That throw was there. I love the play call of calling it on that second down. They had a matchup, just couldn't execute.
3rd and 8 after the incomplete pass. Hayes is going to go back to the air. He fakes out to the near side, and he is going to be swarmed under. And again, it's Charlie Morgan, number 57, as well as Parker Derby in there to help bring him down for the sack. That's going to be a big loss for the Bobcats, nearly 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 15 as Hayes comes to the near side, as it looked like he was going to the tight end.
Tyler Schaus is the one that blew that up. He was a linebacker off the right side, and I think he was going to go that little tight end dump pass, and Tyler Schaus was standing right there.
Yohan Gomez is back to punt it away for the Bobcats, averaging nearly 40 yards a punt. This one a low-line drive. It will hit at the 50, roll to the 40, working its way to the 35, now the 30. Oh, wow, keeps going an extra few yards down to the 27-yard line. What a huge punt right there for Yohan Gomez.
Sometimes it isn't how pretty the golf swing is, it's how effective it is, and that's been his first 2 punts. Not the best-looking Gomez punts, but my goodness, have they been effective. He might have even got another half a yard if Sam would have let it go, because pitching wedge hit at the 50 and then rolled up onto the green and kept going. It even angled to stay back in bounds.
Yeah. That's good stuff right there.
Bobcats, do you feel like this is a huge drive? I feel like this is a really big drive, though we're in the first half.
Really important one with 6:06, because the last drive that Ottumwa went on, it was about a 6-minute drive as they started with the ball right at pretty much the beginning of the second quarter, and scored with 7:42 in that first quarter of action. And around to Chantalavon, gets the carry, and he'll cut it back up towards the middle of the field, and he has a nice gain on first down as he'll be up to the 35-yard line. So it's going to be a gain of about 8 yards to set up a short second down and 2.
Yeah, offensive line is absolutely setting the tone, and Chantalavon he's a small guy. He's not big. They list him at 5'9". That might be right, but he's not a big guy. He hides behind the big guys. Once the gap is open, he hits it quick.
Ottumwa leading 21-14 after the last touchdown drive. Flattery goes in motion. They're going to go to the air. Matt Mitchell, he throws a duck, but the Bobcats are not looking back as Gorsuch got beat right there. Probably could have had an interception, but it is going to be caught by Chance Egbert up at the 36-yard line in Bobcat territory, as roughing the passer going to be the penalty after the play, and that will only cause more trouble for the Bobcat defense right there. As here's a look at the replay on KFJB-TV, but Mitchell was hit, and he was hit by Hinkle. Maybe a little bit late, but not, I guess, awful.
He was in the air going at him before he threw it, maybe because he went high, but that's a
36-yard line, and then they will mark off the 15-yard penalty down to the 21-yard line. As, again, we look at the replay. Probably, maybe hindsight's 20/20, but anyway, a tough play to pull up on right there. And so a huge gain through the air as Matt Mitchell on a wobbler gets it to Chance Egbert, as Gorsuch didn't have his head around, and if he would, might have had an interception on the play, Dylan.
Well, I think he was going to Travius Brown, actually. I think that's how poorly he underthrew it, because he had Smitherman beat. But, yeah, nobody had turned their head.
Now, head coach Adam Goodvin talking to the press box, and I believe they're going to put a little bit of time back on the play clock, as well as maybe the game clock. 5:06 on the game clock as we look at the last play again, as Hinkle was coming in. And, he was already diving kind of towards
that
Mitchell.
Maybe it was up high, and
I could see that. Nevertheless, it turns into a huge chain mover down to the 21-yard line.
This is where we are not going to win games in the 40s. We're probably not going to win a lot of games in the 30s. Is you can't allow to add those big yardage markers
Clock now at 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Chantalavan end around, push out to the far side of the field, breaks a couple of tackles, got past Niehaus, and finally driven out of bounds. Chantalavan tackled by Perez, and a flag comes out after the play is over. It's nearly a first down carry of about 9 yards for Chantalavan. Dylan, what'd you see on the penalty flag?
Chantalavan, he shoved after the play. You'll see him against Juan Pablo Perez. He'll come up and just
he smacked him.
He smacked. That should
he should be ejected from the game.
He should be ejected.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Chantalavan, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty.
And I'm surprised he's still in the game.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because if you look at
this, you can't hit another guy. Yeah, that's a smack in the face.
Yeah, he just hit him right in the face. I'm shocked that he's not kicked out of the football game.
Yeah, I agree. Usually at the high school level, there is no.
If the previous is a roughing the passer, but you like open hand or a fist, they don't allow for that. So yeah, pretty shocking.
So after the penalty, it's first down and 17. Ball on the far side hash. Chantalavan gets the fake pitch from Mitchell. Roll out to the near side. Heller's in the flat. He's going to pick it up. Flags fly as Ragland will drive him out of bounds at the 21-yard line. But it looks like a penalty is going to be called on the Ottumwa Bulldogs, and this will be coming back. So negate the play.
Right now, Bulldogs aren't doing themselves any favors.
Flag is picked up, it looks like. And it will be a gain of 7. So I'm not sure what the flag was. Maybe a sideline warning on the Bobcats on that play. And we're getting confirmation from our very own Keith Stewart. That was the penalty, a warning on the sideline for the Bobcats. So the clock stops at 4 minutes, now counting 21-14. Ottumwa leading your Marshalltown Bobcats. It's third down at the 21-yard line. Ball on the near side hash as Mitchell is going to be underneath center. Heller is the back. Out to the near side, Chance Egbert, the wide receiver. Mitchell hands off on the end around to Chantalavan, cuts it back, breaks a tackle from Gorsuch, and Juan Pablo Perez finally brings him down at the 5-yard line. Smitherman in there as well to help for the tackle at the 5. And again, just chunk yard after chunk yard, and that one a gain of just over 15 yards.
7 carries, 185 yards.
Man, I do not know what's going on with the scoreboard, but the clock keeps going when it shouldn't be going, and then it stops when it shouldn't, and the yard marker has been off all. It had first down, it was third, and
we had a rough
It's training day here in week number 5.
We had a rough go last time we were at home. There was
But Chantalavan, a really good run right there down to the 5-yard line. And again, tackling a little bit of an issue here tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats. It is first and goal at the 5 for the Ottumwa Bulldogs with under 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. They are on the doorstep. End around, Chantalavan, nobody home on the edge as he cuts back inside out of a tackle by the corner. And Juan Pablo Perez, he was the only man out there. And that will be, actually, it was Aiden Smitherman, but nevertheless, it's a touchdown. Chantalavan with a 4-yard touchdown rush for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. His second touchdown rush of the night, 6th of the season.
It doesn't seem like any of our defensive linemen are winning their battles. It's happened 3 or 4 times all night long. So it honestly is just able to run free and fancy behind the line of scrimmage. They don't have to deviate from line A to line B, and Bobcats are getting smacked in the mouth.
And check that, Chantalavan, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. PAT is good by Joel Hulgren. Cats trail now by 2 touchdowns. It's 28-14 on KFJB-TV. Coming up at halftime, we will talk and look at highlight stats and get adjustments. All brought to you by Scouting America as we check out the replay right there. Chantelevon, that 4-yard touchdown rush as he's having a big night on the ground.
They just can't stop him. His line has been absolutely awesome. He doesn't have to touch. He's not touched usually for 8-10 yards after on that run. But the Bobcats are set up 2.5 minutes to go before half. They do get the ball first coming out of the second half.
Kickoff all presented by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate team. And they will reverse it this time. Smitherman will keep it at the 20 and drop down at the 30. And Zach Wilder got a little mixed up there. Juan Pablo Perez, though, I think he was blocked in the back, and so, or hit in the back by Ottumwa. So I'm not really sure what's going to go on here for the Bobcats on that reverse.
They called a block on the
return.
back.
Okay.
Against the Bobcats.
Or excuse me, Juan Pablo Perez was the man to block in the back is what I was trying to say. Not that he was. So anyway, that will be on him, and it will back the Bobcats up here after they were set to start with the ball near the 30-yard line. And after the penalty, the Bobcats will get it at the 15 with 2:33 to go before halftime. Down 2 scores.
Bobcats have 48 yards of offense. So Ottumwa's over 300.
Smitherman comes around the end, handoff to England. And he's spinning off a couple of Bulldogs. He'll find himself ahead for a gain of 2 yards. And it will set up a 2nd down and 8. And Ottumwa's going to take a timeout, so that's a heads-up play. They know that the Bobcats are going to be conservative.
Yeah, and when looking at this, and you can see it every time, it seems like when the ball is hiked that 4 out of 5 Bobcat linemen explode off the ball. It never seems like there's 5 that explode off the ball. You flip the script, Ottumwa is in perfect harmony. And that's really what it comes down to. It just does not seem like everybody's on the same page, either with the same idea or the same effort consistently.
So 2nd down and 8. Bobcats, I would think you would have to feel like you're in trouble here if you don't get a 1st down.
Yeah, you don't want to give them the ball back because they may not throw the ball a lot, but they get chunk plays.
Yeah, they really do. Kyle Smith is split out to the near side for the Bobcats in their flex bone offense. England's the back on 2nd down and 8. Ball in the middle of the field. Pitch out to the near side. Smitherman fakes inside, comes outside the numbers. Flags are going to fly on the backside. Gorsuch is going to be called with holding.
You've got to release your block.
It was going to be a 1st down carry all the way up to the 29-yard line, so it was a nice play for the Bobcats as they were at the 17-yard line, so it's going to be about a 12-yard pickup, but holding the call, and this will be coming back, and it will set up a 2nd down and forever.
And I don't think, as you see this, he turns out here, that's where you got to let it go.
Yeah.
And
the
looked
play's
like
past
it was
you
on
almost.
Hinkle, and it was past him, and he didn't need it.
Yeah, and Gorsuch did have that hold and kind of block in the back. So 2nd down now after the penalty. 2nd down and we'll say about 16 yards as the ball's back at the 9-yard line. They need to get it to the 25 for a 1st down. On the near side hash for the red and blue as Hayes checks his wristband. England's the back. And in motion, handoff near side. It's actually Ragland, not England, at the B-back. And he goes off left guard for only a gain of 3 yards. And another timeout. That'll be the Bulldogs' final timeout of the 1st half. We'll take a timeout with them. 1:48 to go before halftime. Bobcats trailing 28-14 on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Jeff Brooks here with a Central State Bank scoreboard update. Looking at West Marshall at home at homecoming tonight against Jessup. West Marshall leads going into halftime 17-13. East Marshall trails South Hardin tonight 34-0 at halftime. Also, Southeast Polk versus Sioux City East. Southeast Polk at halftime leads 41-3. I'll now return you to Leonard Cole Field with Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze for Marshalltown High School football.
All right, thanks, Jeff. As the Bobcats out of the timeout run the ball, and going to be a first down pickup as they go off of left guard. A nice run there, Dylan.
Yeah, great job. Here is actually a pass to Kyle Smith out in the flat. Great block outside there. Who was at number 55, Verdinez, did a great job of getting down the field and blocking. Kyle got to the marks. That's great pickup.
Yeah, so pickup of 18 or 16 yards through the air right there for the Bobcats. Hayes will go back to the air, out into the flat, and that one almost intercepted as putting his hand up in the air, and it was Joe Grieve as the intended target was Smitherman, but nearly a little bit of trouble right there before halftime as Grieve with 8 total tackles and free safety coming into this game here tonight.
Yeah, I think it looked, as you see that come out, and I think he thought he had man coverage and 9 was going out with him, but there was Grieve also playing center field there. I don't think Jacob ever saw him.
Hayes brings Gorsuch in motion, handoff for right guard. Nice cut by Ragland. He cuts it back to the near side at the 40, puts a stiff arm out, ridden out just over the 45 to the 46-yard line. How about that carry? Just over 20-yard pickup for Davis Ragland, designed off right guard, but cuts it back in the middle of the field and comes near side.
And this was a great job, finally getting a good block there. He's able to outrun a couple arm tackles and then gets out of bounds, which is huge because the Bobcats only have one timeout.
And only 1:04 to go before halftime. So the Bobcats being fairly aggressive after the pass play.
Yep.
And then the run play pays off right there. As Hayes will go back to pass again. He's going to pass out to his tight end, Barker, off of his fingertips as he's sliding out at the 35-yard line. It's going to be incomplete, and it will set up second down and 10.
That's a pretty good ball for getting hit right in the face. There you see Davis Ragland with his big run. You and I would have got 6-7 yards on that carry. That was a huge hole.
Yeah, that is for sure a nice-looking run. One of his biggest gains of the season is Ragland, 168 rushing yards and a touchdown. He just had 6 carries for 18 yards last week against Newton. Smitherman comes in motion, and somebody moving a little bit too early. A false start on the Bobcats with 58 seconds to go before halftime. Second down and 10, and it will be second down and 15 after the false start penalty. Backed up at the Bobcat 41-yard line on the near side hash. So, again, throughout the night, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
6 penalties.
Yeah, 6 penalties, and not coming in favorable spots as well. So second down for the Bobcats as they get set to go. And a handoff near side to Ragland as he sees a few Bulldogs in his way. He dances around and will dive ahead and pick up 1 yard up to the 42-yard line. It will be a long third down. Ottumwa without any timeouts now.
Yeah, looking at this is where, seeing where they're at, this is a tough spot to be in because the gambler, you want to say, hey, let's go for it, but we do not want to turn this ball over and allow Ottumwa to get any more bites at the apple before the half ends.
Third down and 14 yards. Hayes is going to be blitzed, and as soon as he was turning around to go to the air, as he was in his drop back, he is covered up and brought down at the 30, looks like about the 36-yard line is where they're going to spot him down. It'll bring up fourth down, but we run out our final 5 seconds of the first half here. And the Bobcats will head to halftime trailing by 14. It is 28-14 as the Bobcats head off the field at the break. It's been a struggle on offense here tonight. A couple of really nice plays. Tyler England with a long touchdown rush, a special teams one, but Ottumwa has really put it to him offensively.
Ottumwa's offense is a well-oiled machine. They are moving effortlessly, moving blockers, and then Chintelavan is so fast and quick, and he hits it. When he hits the hole, he goes, and he's been tremendous.
Well, the Bobcats got the ball back, couldn't do anything with it as it's 28-14. Ottumwa leading it right here at Leonard Field on KFJB-TV.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Miller Middle School turns 100 next year. It has served generations of Marshalltown students well. Education has changed dramatically since Miller opened in 1925. Miller faces a long list of challenges, including limited technology capabilities, lack of space for learning, gathering, and new programming to prepare our students for the next step in their journey. Voters will consider a referendum in November to reimagine Miller for future generations. To learn more, go to marshalltowncsdfuture.com.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sauteed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Halftime between the Bobcats and the Bulldogs. An interesting one tonight as the Bulldogs leading at 28-14 at halftime. We're going to run over our highlights here in a moment. But first 2 drives for both of these teams, a 3 and out, had us kind of feeling like maybe we'll see a very low-scoring game. But then after that, it was all offense and even some special teams in the mix.
Yeah, and that first drive is Bobcats had some movement on that defensive line, able to bring the pressure. Since then, not happened. Ottumwa has absolutely owned the line of scrimmage, blowing holes open. Bobcat defenders are playing on their heels, not attacking the football.
So Ottumwa was the first to strike with 5:18 in the first quarter, a 70-yard drive for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. And it was capped off on this play right here. Mitchell kept it himself right up the gut for a 4-yard touchdown rush. The PAT was good, 7-0. And then on the exact next play on the kickoff for the Bobcats, it was a fake reverse as Sam Griesel ended up keeping himself. He faked it to Aiden Smitherman. Ottumwa came to the near side. Everybody thought he had it, but Griesel was going 90 yards for the touchdown, Dylan.
That's a great feeling. It was the right call. Bobcats needed a shot in the arm, and they got it.
Nearly 20 seconds later, Ottumwa would answer back, though, on this play with 4:41 in the first quarter. and Chantalavan a 73-yard touchdown rush as he blew right past Yohan Gomez. A couple of Bobcats collided with each other, which didn't help out on that play.
You look at Niehaus always hustling. It seemed like Ethan Gorsuch kind of started jogging pretty early on that one.
Yeah, that is for sure. And then the Bobcats, 3 minutes later, we slowed down. We played 3 minutes of the game before we had our next score, and it was the young sophomore with his first touchdown rush of the season as Tyler England, on a play where there was only 2 seconds on the game clock, or the play clock, he took it all the way in for a 39-yard touchdown rush to tie it back up at 14 apiece.
If he can go north to south on a straight line, that kid is quick.
Yeah, he definitely is. And then it was about a 6-minute drive for the Ottumwa Bulldogs as Heller punched it in with 7:42 in the second quarter from 2 yards out to make it 21-14 on this play right here.
Yeah, just bully ball. That's what they did the second quarter. It was man on man, and it was an assault. They clubbed them over and over.
Yeah, they really did. Bobcats could not answer back on their next drive. They had to punt it away, and that's really kind of the difference in this one because Ottumwa would go on top 28-14 on this play right here as Chantalavan punched in a 4-yard touchdown rush on another really nice drive for the Ottumwa Bulldogs with 2:41 to go before halftime. Bobcats would get it back, and then the half would run out here. But Ottumwa's offense, man, they are legit. They had 1,800 rushing yards coming in on the season, and they put up quite a few here tonight.
Phil Light said, we're gonna change the culture, we're gonna heighten expectations, and we're gonna hit the weight room. You can tell by what they're doing in between the line of scrimmage. They've done both of those things. Ottumwa looking to go 5-0, first winning season since 2009.
When we come back, we will talk to one of the members from the 2009 championship team, or the championship game contenders, as they lost to Iowa City High and A.J. Derby. We'll talk about the 15th year anniversary for Bobcat football as they were honored earlier here tonight. This is halftime coverage from Leonard Cole Field. This is Bobcat football on KFJB-TV.
When my kids come home from camp, they're so excited. They go on and on about all the activities they got to do.
My son loves to go fishing,
Cooking, photography, kayaking,
zip line, archery,
robotics, camping, oceanography,
swimming,
and radio.
He's got so many fun stories that he would share that we just wouldn't have otherwise.
Being involved in scouting, my boys have made lifelong friendships.
I would recommend putting your kids in scouting. It's a great way for them to learn skills while having fun.
When heading to the stadium, don't forget to scoot through the Scooters Coffee drive-thru on the way to the game. With a variety of drinks to choose from, you can give your school spirit a quick boost before cheering on the Marshalltown Bobcats. Try one of the fall features like the caramel apple smoothie, a pumpkin spice latte, or maple bourbon cream cold brew to get you through the game. Scooters Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. South Center Street in Marshalltown. Proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat football.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Welcome back to Leonard Cole Field. Brandon Lewis, now joined by former quarterback for the Marshalltown Bobcats back in 2009, Chance Creekmer. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming up here tonight. As you know, you guys were honored before the game. The 2009 team got to the championship game against Iowa City High. A.J. Derby and that crew was pretty tough, but you guys were just as tough. You took down Dowling. I wasn't calling the games for the Bobcats, but I've looked up the highlights and all that kind of stuff and just saw the video before the game here, kind of about your guys' mantra and the belief and how special, looking back, was that 2009 run?
Very special, especially 15 years later. You definitely appreciate it a little more. Seeing the fans, seeing the band, everybody, all my teammates, it's been a special night.
Yeah. And then to look at the statistics that you guys put up, 35 touchdown passes. You had 9 rushing touchdowns. We're going to talk to Jared Carlson a little bit later, but he was one of your favorite targets. At that time, though, looking back at 2009, did you know in the moment just how special of a run, early on in that season that you guys were going to have, or was it kind of something that as the season went along, you gained that confidence?
Well, we knew we had a special group growing up. We've been playing sports together, all different types of sports, since we were little kids. We knew we had something special, and we knew we had something that we could build on. and it was just right place, right timing. It all clicked senior year. We just, we put our heads down and just went to work every day and kind of just focused on the goal at hand.
I felt like kind of looking and reading about it. I mean, it was that people think of Marshalltown as a kind of a blue-collar town, that hard work ethic. I mean, that's what it really takes to be able to knock off some of those dowlings and valleys.
Definitely. Coach Kluver used to say that, bring your lunch pail to work. That's what we did at practice every single day.
Yeah, that is awesome. When you look back now, I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but what kind of sticks out in your mind, outside of maybe the wins? I mean, the bonds that you have long term with some of your teammates.
Sure, it's a brotherhood, right? Just seeing their faces, they've turned into fathers and husbands, based off of the morals that we had. That pretty much started with football growing up.
Yeah,
morals and values, and turning into good men is what the goal is, right? We just happen to be good at football.
Yeah, that's for sure. Tell me about your story after you got done being a Bobcat.
Well, I had an interesting route. I went and played basketball at Arizona State for 2 years, and then I transferred to Iowa State and walked on and played quarterback.
Okay, awesome.
Well, they tried to put me at tight end first, and then I was like, no.
I know how to throw the football around a little bit.
Yeah, I know how to sling it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so you're living in eastern Iowa right now,
yes,
and
sir.
I saw you before the game. You were pointing at the sweatshirt.
Absolutely.
You still bleed that blue and red, though, right?
Absolutely. One town, one team, one dream. That wasn't just for us. That's for the entire city.
That's awesome. And to get back here, Leonard Coalfield doesn't quite look like it did when you played here. What do you think of all the renovations?
Very different. I'm very jealous. I went through the roundhouse. That is amazing as well. I'm super excited for the kids to get to experience this, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for coming up. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Again, I know 15 years later, but congrats, and I'm sure kind of a cool thing to get back here and see all your teammates.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yep, Chance Kriegmer with us here on KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken and West Marshall football have long been State Center traditions. And with a year full of changes, it seems like traditions are harder and harder to come by. While where you enjoy it might have changed, Bailey's commitment to delicious pizza and roasted chicken can still be found in every bite. Enjoy the local tradition of Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken, open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30 for carry-out only. Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center, proud sponsors of West Marshall football.
Rainbow Car Wash has been in town over 40 years. New owners Brad and Kim Canada have been with Rainbow for more than 35 years, focusing on quality, cleanliness, and great customer service. Open 24 hours year-round with 2 convenient locations. Each location has 2 oversized truck bays to accommodate large vehicles. All bays accept quarters. And for your convenience, newly installed credit, debit, Apple Pay, and Samsung Pay featuring Swipe or Tap to Pay, powerful vacuums, and a great selection of vending supplies. Follow us on Facebook at Rainbow Car Wash LLC.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Jeff Brooks here with a Central State Bank scoreboard update. We're looking at Nevada against Perry tonight. Nevada at home at halftime leads 41-0. Southeast Polk leads Sioux City East at halftime 41-3. And Des Moines Lincoln at Council Bluffs Lincoln, the Battle of the Lincolns. Council Bluffs leads 28-0 at halftime. Ames against Valley tonight. Valley handing it to the Little Cyclones 42-0 at halftime. Valley leads. Newton at halftime leads Bondurant Farrar 21-7. And Fort Dodge at halftime leads Denison 29-0. That's your Central State Bank scoreboard update. Now back to Leonard Coalfield in Marshalltown with Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Brooksy. And, wow, Valley taking it to Ames 42-0 here at halftime. All right, let's get a look at our halftime stats and adjustments as we are at the break. All brought to you by Kins Transmission of Marshalltown. First half stats, Ottumwa leading on the ground.
Ottumwa's been absolutely awesome on the ground. 260 yards on the ground, 190 of that on 8 carries coming from Kobe Chantalavon. He has 2 touchdowns on the ground. Matt Mitchell, -4 yards on 2 carries, but does have a touchdown. And then Noah Hiller's been a bright spot, 8 carries, 28 yards, including a touchdown. A little bit of energy in the Matt Mitchell, also 3 for 3 for 50 yards through the air. For the Bobcats, found a little bit of green grass when Tyler England went 39 yards for a touchdown. He has 5 carries, 42 yards. Davis Ragland has 25 yards on 3 carries. And there 1 pass for 13 yards from Jacob Hayes to Kyle Smith. But on the adjustment, it's all going to come to the defensive and offensive line play. Right now, they are allowing them to do anything, so they're going to have to play downhill. It seems that everyone's accepting blocks on the defensive line. They're not hitting first. They're getting punched and moved wherever Ottumwa wants to go. Bobcats have to do that. And then stop giving flags. It's as simple as that. It's a liar, liar quote. Just stop doing it. And you have to be able to have some rhythm and flow offensively to create drives, to create points.
Yeah, awesome stuff there for the ladies as well as you take a look on KFJB-TV as dance camp put on by the dance squad. And like I say every year when we see that, if that doesn't put a smile on your face, then I don't know what will.
You're dead inside. Yeah. I think that's what that is.
All right, that's our halftime stats and adjustments, all presented by Kins Transmission, your family-owned transmission experts. Second half between the Bobcats and the Bulldogs. Coming up, it's 28-14 at Leonard Cole Field right here on KFJB-TV.
Have you ever seen what it takes to fix a transmission? It takes a lot of patience, a lot of experience, and a whole lot of talent. At Kins Transmission, they have all the above. Family owned and operated with over 62 years of experience in all areas of transmission, keeping your vehicle shifting smoothly and routine maintenance, repair and replacement, including automatic and manual. For reputable service you can trust, Kins Transmission. Kins Transmission at 306 East Ensign Street in Marshalltown is a proud sponsor of the Marshalltown Bobcats.
Hey Bobcat fans, are you looking for the latest in home decor and women's fashion? Real Deals is a locally owned boutique right here in downtown Marshalltown. We're your one-stop shop for home decor, the latest in women and teens fashion, plus a great place to get gifts for all the loved ones. Stop by our boutique and say, "Go Bobcats!" for a special discount. Real Deals is open Wednesday through Saturday. Grab a friend, bring your family members, and see what our locally owned boutique is all about. Can't wait to see you at Real Deals in downtown Marshalltown.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Assured Partners, Power through Partnership. Greg Young Chevrolet of Marshalltown. Drive with Greg Young and experience top auto service and selection. And Lennox Employees Credit Union, LennoxECU.com.
That is the Jeff Brooks experience in his combine during the fall right there. Nothing gets better.
Well,
we still have not been taken for a ride in the combine, though.
No, we ask every year, and I've had to go to terrible photoshops of our heads floating in the combine cabin, and that may be the closest we get.
That might be better than the real version,
It
though.
probably is.
Jared Carlson joining us on KFJB-TV as he was part of the 2009 team. They went 13-1, the 15th year anniversary. We just talked a little bit ago to Chance Creekmer, your quarterback on that team. Looking back on it, how special was that run as you look 15 years later now?
Yeah, I mean, it's something, whenever any of us are around Marshalltown, community members still kind of talk about that. Being here 15 years later, where some of the guys on the field, might not have even been born at that time.
Yeah.
It was truly something special, especially, kind of Marshalltown in football historically hasn't been the best when at that point, only made the playoffs once, maybe a couple times. I'm not sure. So kind of each win, the community kind of came behind us more and more as the season went along, which was really cool to see.
Yeah. And that run, did you know, it's kind of hard to know at that point in time, you're going week by week, you're building towards something, but to see at the end what you built, I'm sure looking back, maybe did you feel like you enjoyed the moment, or was it one of those things where you enjoy it more now than you maybe did at the present time?
Yeah, honestly, now you can look back and really appreciate it. As a 17, 18-year-old, you really don't know what you're doing in the moment.
Yeah.
You just kind of take it day by day. You're hanging out with your friends at practice. You're playing football. Friday nights come around, you get excited. You don't look too far ahead. You don't look in the past. The year before, I think we went 3-6, and then following that up with 13-1. That never really deterred our confidence level. And week by week, just kind of as the wins started building, we beat Valley week 3, I think, by 2 on a last-second field goal. And it was at Valley. Marshalltown had never beat Valley up until that point, and I don't think they beat them since. We were on the Valley field in full uniform, hour and a half, 2 hours later with our whole stands on the field. Next week, week 4, Johnston, in town, ranked opponent. This place was packed.
Yeah.
We beat them, I think, 21-17. Don't quote me on that.
I actually have it written down. We can check it out.
Yeah, so, we had some close games early on, and once we got to 4-0 after that, the whole town was behind us, which was really awesome to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bobcats with the second half kick return, 11:20 to go. As the ball right up the middle as Jacob Hayes, the quarterback, will keep it. He's slung down on 2nd down and 7 for a loss of about a half yard. It's going to be a long 3rd down situation here for the Marshalltown Bobcat offense.
And when we're looking at, 4-0, you said the town starts to get behind you. I was in Washington State at that time, and I noticed my social media each week there would be more and more and more. Talk about going up to the Unidome for that first game and that experience. What did that mean to you?
Yeah, so I'll go back one game when we played Ankeny at home to go to the Unidome. I remember us seniors, we'd get out of school about noon, and there was TV crews here. There was already people, 4 o'clock lining up to get in because they knew the place was going to be sold out. The whole fence around the perimeter was just people lined up. It was really cool to see. Once you get not just the Marshalltown media, but you start getting the Des Moines media involved, it really grows. Mm-hmm. Going up to the Unidome before our semifinal game, we took the buses, fire truck, police escort down Main Street. All the elementary schools lined the streets. It was really cool.
Bobcats at 3 and out on their first drive out of halftime. It's going to be 4th down and a high snap. This happened last week. Gomez going to try to get it away. It's going to be blocked at the 10-yard line. Ottumwa falls on it on the 10. And that one's going to be recovered and brought in by Tyler Schaus, the junior. You talk about that, the build-up and the attention, but then you get that attention and you go up to the Unidome, and to get to the championship game, there at the end of it, you end up taking down Dowling, accomplishing that feat. You knew it wasn't over. You still have the championship game, but that's just not something like you talked about the Valley thing, not happening every year. To be able to get, those big wins and do it for your community, that Bobcat pride, you kind of alluded to it, seeing that, how special is that aspect to see a community support like that?
Yeah, it was, you said it best, it was really special. Once we got to the Unidome, I think for those 2 weeks, someone different in town sponsored, whether it was a restaurant or individual, sponsored a team meal. So Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, leading up to the games, we'd be at Taco John's, Gary Gimbel. I think Culver's did one. Some community members were donating Sub City. We had a pizza party one night. So honestly, it was more than just Friday night. It was a every night kind of deal once we made it that far, which was really awesome. And hopefully we can see the Marshalltown get back to that level sometime in the near future.
Yeah. Ottumwa with the ball, 2nd and goal here at the 8-yard line. Heller is the back. Mitchell snaps it, hands off to Chantalivon, trying to get the edge past Ragland. Ragland forces him back inside, but Chantalivon made a huge cut, and he has his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night from 8 yards out, and Ottumwa strikes again. They're now up 34-14 as we're joined by Jared Carlson here on the broadcast. All right, so to be able to get back to that point, though, what's it take? You guys kind of had a mantra, and it's a belief, right? It's not so much – executing the plays is part of it, but the belief, that's got to also be there, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I think, honestly, it started when we were in middle school. When we were in middle school, 7th, 8th grade, it was pretty much the 7th graders would play together and the 8th graders would play together, and we had lightweight and heavyweight. As a combined, I was a lightweight, Chance was a heavyweight. Combined, I think we went 8-0-1, which, we were kind of building on that. Sophomore year, I think we went 7-2. We beat Valley as a sophomore. So we knew we had the ability. And then junior year, mixing it up with that senior class, we were good. We were talented. We just didn't win the close games that we did senior year. So really, getting that belief, winning those first early, few games by, 2 points against Valley, 4 points against Johnson, it really leads to belief. And I think that's where our coaches and I think Coach Kluver came up with believe in one town, one team, one dream, because really you had to believe in each other. You had to believe in the guy next to you. And just game by game, we'd get down late, and we weren't phased. I think the game before Ankeny in the playoffs, we played Waukee. We'd beat them earlier in the year. I think by 15, 20 points. I think we were down at half, 12-0. I think we ended up scoring 35 points on them.
Wow.
So we weren't down. We weren't in the dumps. We knew that we were going to come back. We knew our offense was explosive. We knew our defense was going to get the stops that we needed. So yeah, I think believe was really truly the motto that we all believed in. Kind of cliche to say, but it really worked, and we all rallied around it, rallied around each other, rallied around our coaches. And, rallied around the community. And the community, the fans, that really helped us propel us along as the season went on.
Yeah.
One of the things you mentioned, you said Coach Kluver talked about believe, and your memory seems to be great for those 15 years ago. So those things mattered. What would you say that word, the things that you learned on that 09 team, how has that affected you and moved you now 15 years later?
Yeah, I think, honestly, going week to week, we're living in the moment, and that's kind of what I try to do right now. I don't look at the past. I don't look too far into the future. I have a wife and a 2-year-old with another one on the way, so it's kind of day by day.
Yes, it is.
We have long-term plans for our family, but
yeah.
We just kind of take it day by day, and that's kind of what we did back in 09. And kind of with that mindset, you're never too high, you're never too low.
And here goes England. He got the pitch from his tight end. England with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Ottumwa just scored to go up 35-14. But how about that? Lincoln Barker catches it from 10 yards, pitches to England, and he ends up going all the way, 52-yard touchdown run.
The hook and lateral last year at Ottumwa, Xavier Anderson scored on that very same play. It was perfectly set up. Hayes got it out quickly. There's the pitch. You get it to Zane Moore, the sophomore, to the other sophomore, Tyler England, and it's pay dirt.
And I thought it was Lincoln Barker, but yeah, you're right. It was Zane Moore, the wide receiver, who caught that one. And England gets his 2nd touchdown of the game, and it's 35-21 as we're talking with Jared Carlson. All right, so last question I have for you. 85 receptions, 1,540 yards, 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a kickoff return for a touchdown. We couldn't find sacks, but we saw you had 5 TFLs, so we imagine you at least had a couple sacks. Was there any stat that you didn't have your hands on? I mean, you seem like you had it really all going on.
Yeah, so, So ironically, we were fortunate enough to have enough guys out where we didn't have to play both ways. I was the only guy on the team that played both ways. I played on all special teams except kickoff. I didn't want to be on kickoff just because it's, a 60-yard sprint, and I need to get a quick drink of water. They talked early in the season. Our defensive back coach came up to me and said, I think we're just going to save you for offense. And I told him, no, you're not. So, I probably shouldn't say that, but it was never spoke about again. And, it was pretty special. The stats are the stats. Obviously, when you score a lot of points and play that many games, your stats are going to look pretty impressive. So
yeah, and you mentioned it too. The previous year, you didn't have the best record overall, but you still had the numbers, and that's one thing we've seen for the Bobcats lately or the past couple of years. Not just the Bobcats. To be fair to them, some other schools struggle number-wise, but you're a 5A school. You've got top 40 enrollment in the state. Yet still sidelined small. I guess in your mind, has times just changed, or is there something that leads to, higher numbers of guys being out, regardless if they're a starter or not?
Yeah, definitely the times have changed. These kids have so many more external options, extracurricular activities I think they can get involved with. When I was in high school, we didn't really have the social media, nobody had smartphones. You didn't have anything you wanted at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So the times have definitely changed, and I think, we had a couple guys join our football team in 2009 after we were 2-0, 3-0, the coaches let them come on. I think that definitely helps, and I would say after 2009, if you look at guys that went out for football after that, I would say the numbers were up just because we had success.
Yep.
So I think if the Bobcats, it's the same way in all the sports. I read the paper, I see what they're doing. If you have a little success, more guys are going to want to go out. And unfortunately, I think that's the problem is, too many kids don't think they're going to be any good, so they don't want to go out, which is too bad because really it's not about necessarily the wins and losses. Sure, you want to win, but it's about hanging out with your buddies. It's about the camaraderie. Yeah. That's kind of why we all played, something to be competitive about.
That's for sure. Who do we got? We got somebody else hanging out here. Not talking. Okay.
This is Raleigh Danner.
Raleigh Danner was also on the team, right?
Yep. He was, so I guess he was the guy that the athletic director kind of got in contact with about this ordeal. He sent a big group chat to a bunch of us about 2 different dates, what date would work best. So he kind of organized it, got a lot of us. We had a really good turnout, which is, I'm not sure how many guys. I bet we had close to 25 guys, which is really awesome. And he's the owner of Mama DeGredo, so we're going to head there afterwards, I think.
I was going to say, where's our pizza up here in the booth?
that's your guy right there. So, yeah, he did a great job in organizing it and getting us all together. So,
that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Well, hey, Jared, thanks so much for coming up. Great to chat with you, and congrats. I only hope we get back to the Unidome in my time calling games.
Yeah, me too. I'll be there if we do.
All right, sounds good. That is Jared Carlson with us here on KFJB-TV. Thanks so much for his time. And Raleigh as well, too. As the Ottumwa Bulldogs still moving it on the ground as Flattery on the far side of the field. 7:44 to go in the third quarter as the Bulldogs leading 35-21. A couple of really great guys to talk to there. Chance Creekmer, Jared Carlson. And, Chance talked about it a lot. I don't know if you heard him, but he just talked about, bigger than football.
Yep.
There ended up being a lot of guys who turned out to be very successful people in general, not just at their job, but fathers and all that kind of stuff.
And I think personally, so John Vance led the team in tackles, 116 and a half tackles. I officiated his wedding. And so, that's the crazy stuff. And he's great guy, great family. And so you just think of some of those things, but that's a really great group of guys. I do think it's funny. Jared had all those stats, right? Yeah. All those touchdowns. He talked for 3 minutes. 2 touchdowns. So the guy just breathes touchdowns apparently.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hopefully he sticks around, and it's going to be a little bit of good momentum for the Bobcats here in the second half to get their way back into this one. All right, so the Bobcat defense out there facing a 2nd down and 8 for the Ottumwa Bulldogs with 7:10 and counting. Ball at the 49-yard line in Bobcat territory in the far side hash for the white and red of Ottumwa. Mitchell's going to drop back to pass. He's got Yohan Gomez in his face, and nearly his 2nd interception of the season. Jamison Niehaus cuts underneath the pass and almost picks it off, bringing up 3rd down and 8. It's incomplete.
And that right there is what winning your battle on the defensive line right up the middle. Look, Hinkle was able to slide through. Johan Gomez gets there, forces the quick throw, and Niehaus almost gets the pick. Great job by both the tackle and the left end on that play to get pressure.
Well, and that's key because the Bobcats' defense has struggled when they haven't gotten that pressure.
Right. 3rd and long. This is a big one.
Mitchell on the end around sweep, and the Bobcats going to come up with a stop. A flag flies in the middle, but the end around went to Parker Derby, the senior, and he only picks up about a yard. And so it should bring up 4th down and 7, as holding is going to be the call. So Bobcats most likely will decline and look to get the ball back here. And that was a huge stop defensively, but all started with the defensive pressure on the previous play.
Yeah, great job there. And there they get back up the field. Bobcats do a good job of getting back up the field. And right there, that was Braden Mahoney. He's a sophomore. We have not seen a lot of Braden Mahoney. And Goodman tends to do this 4 or 5 games in. You now bring up another sophomore who's now ready. Wasn't ready early in the season. Now he is. And Mahoney got some good pressure there.
Ottumwa to punt. High snap. They'll bring it down. Pressure in their face, but just getting it away. Kyle Smith will yell Peter and tell everybody to get away from it. And this one will be marked at the 26-yard line. So decent field position for the Bobcats after forcing that punt right there. And good job to get off the field because the Bobcat offense needs to get back to work in their last offensive possession. Tyler England with that pitch. He got it from Zane Moore, and it was for 6. And just a 52-yard play to get the Bobcats back at the scoreboard. And England showing off that speed here in week number 5. I know we got playing time early, but, still, regardless, it's one of those things where he's got to still pick up the holes. It's different being up there at the varsity level.
Yeah, it just takes the talent is there, and there we stink and have another turnover or another penalty. It's number 7 on the day.
Well, unneeded for the Bobcats, unfortunately. So 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st down and 15 after they mark it off. Whole new ball game, Dylan, if you score in this drive.
Yes, it is. You get it back down to 1 score.
A little bit of a high snap throw onto the near side. Kyle Smith breaks an ankle tackle almost, but he does get tripped up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. So a nice hookup from his quarterback. Quickly swinging it out, Jacob Hayes to Kyle Smith.
I like the quick pass play, and that's what we've talked about. I think you can still run that flex bone while mixing in some of these early on, getting some rhythm going.
6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. England in the back. Man comes in motion. Handoff. No, keep it. Hayes himself outside the numbers at the 40. Ball ahead to the 42. It's a 1st down. Jacob Hayes. Couple of really nice physical runs here tonight for the junior QB.
He's looked to keep it a little bit more. Did a great job of reading number 55. Ran out of a tackle. Got a nice couple blocks out by his wide receivers there.
Approaching 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Hayes underneath center. 2 slots, 2 wide receivers as well. And a pitch out to Gorsuch on the far side. Cuts it back inside at the 50. And he has a 1st down over the 40-yard line down to the 36-yard line. And a 1st down for the Bobcats. Gorsuch at times this year has been phenomenal in finding some seams, and he finds one right here.
He has found that pitch game the best. He has been the one that's been able to be effective with it. I love that he just put the foot in the ground, went up this seam, and picked up about 15 yards there.
Yeah, pitch out to the far side, and then just right at the hashes, just cuts it straight up. And so that will move it down to the 38-yard line. They spot it back a little bit backwards from where it looked like he had it. And it looks like another false start on the Bobcats. Got moving a little bit early. The slots have been off just a little bit there. Gorsuch and Smitherman talk it out. not sure. I think that might have been Smitherman moving a little bit earlier as he taps his chest after the play. That's been a couple times that's happened here tonight.
You keep putting yourself in the hole, and it doesn't become a 70-yard drive. You now have an 85-yard drive, and that is Aiden. Yeah, you just saw it there. It's not good.
Again, week 5. Hopefully you get those figured out. Pitch to the near side. Smitherman cuts it back inside at the hashes. And he will not be brought down, but he is tackled and stood up at the 40-yard line. So he gets back a few yards that were lost on that penalty. And 4:26 in the third quarter. A timeout on the field. Bobcats trail 35-21 on KFJB-TV.
Some drivers trade cars every year or every other year. Some drive their cars till they drop. Whatever kind of driver you are, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to get you into the car for your style of driving. You're invited to go to our website, lennoxecu.com, for membership eligibility and loan rates, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. The loan process is quick and easy. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
Unlucky. We're gonna have to get creative. Might be in that valley of sin.
That sounds about where I would be at.
Yeah.
Out of the timeout, a quick pass play to the near side to Kyle Smith. He'll be tackled at the 35-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, and it will present a long third down. Third down and 8 for the Bobcats.
You see just a quick out. You like to see Kyle just get upfield. You had your block, you got to go, and then he allowed the defender behind him to come get him.
Yeah, Verdina is getting out there quickly out of his left tackle spot to get that block out of there. Good movement by that offensive lineman. 3:42 and counting in the third quarter. Cats trailing by 2 touchdowns. England out of the game. Ragland is back in now at running back. Hayes barks out the signal. Sam Griesel comes in motion, and a bad pass. It was tipped as Hayes threw it out, and it's tipped, intended for Ragland, but it's intercepted by the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Coming up, Parker Derby with the INT, as that will be his first interception of the season as we take a look at the replay.
You see, a great job, and that was by 87. He is absolutely a huge man.
Brown.
Yes.
Yeah. Trying to get it over 3 Ottumwa Bulldogs. Maybe not the best decision in the world right there, though.
No, you have to put a little bit more air under that if you're going to attempt it, and you're probably right. It was best to put that one in the back pocket.
Ragland, the man that was down on the play for the Bobcats, he's going to get up on his own. As Isaiah Cox, assistant coach out there, to give him a high five as you look at that replay on the pick by Derby. And so you had a lot of positive momentum, and then the interception and the turnover for the Bobcat offense. Not feeling great about things here as we dwindled down with 3:25 in the third quarter.
And now with Davis Ragland out of the ball game, you look at him traditionally. He's the glue on that defensive linebacking crew. He's on the sideline, so Zach Wilder moves to the inside with J.J. Schoenfelder.
And the Bobcats go to 4 down linemen, but Chantalavon breaks 2 tackles and scrambles ahead. As landing on him late is Owen Eaton, and it's near a first down. It's a 9-yard pickup for Chantalavon as the Bobcats move it in a 4-3 defense with Ragland, like you mentioned, out. So it's Niehaus, Wilder, and J.J. Schoenfelder at linebacker now with that 4-3. Under 3 minutes to go, third quarter.
And they're actually going with 5 defensive linemen looking at right there. Barker and Johan Gomez as the ends, and then you have 2
Sinclair
guards
inside
and a nose tackle.
Fake the hand. No, they did give it to Chantalivon. He is going to be tackled by Sam Griesel and Johan Gomez from behind. It's first down yardage for Chantalivon as he moves it over to the 40, marked at the 38 on the near sideline with 2:23 and counting in the third quarter. Cats down by 2 scores as the Dogs are in Cat territory now.
Yeah, they have shifted to a 5-3-3 defense, going with 5 defensive linemen. You know, when your 16-year-old tells you something during the week, you don't know, should I believe it? He goes, they're going to play some 5 down linemen on defense this week. So, lo and behold, he might have been right.
First and 10. Ottumwa now in deep in Bobcat territory. Handoff on first down, and a whole host, including J.J. Schoenfelder, driving back. Heller, the B-back, got the handoff. They give him forward progression for a 3-yard pickup. I did not see that, but nevertheless, they mark him at the 35.
And Owen Eaton 2 weeks ago, I asked him what was his favorite front to play defensive. He said it's actually a 5-2. He says it's a little bit old school, so this is not something that I think they just came up with this just to throw it out here, try it. I think they've been working on this probably for two or three different weeks.
Ottumwa Mitchell underneath center. Chantalivon end around inside. He'll get a couple of yards, but it's going to set up a third and mid-range for Ottumwa as the Bobcats did a nice job to force him back inside. And coming up with the tackle for the Bobcats, Braden Mahoney, the sophomore. You talked about him a little bit ago.
Yeah, he's been playing. He's in rotation with this 5 down front. They're moving that back out to go to a 4-3. I anticipate this is going to be 4 down territory. You get inside the 35. Punt doesn't get you a whole lot, so if Ottumwa doesn't get it here, I assume they will go for it again.
Ball in the middle of the field at the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 5. Handoff again, and it looks like Chantalivon's going to be dropped, maybe for a loss of a half yard, as he was on the left side of the offensive line, came around, and Bobcats were there to eat him up.
Yeah, you saw, not to keep saying his name, but Mahoney got in the backfield again, and they brought a blitzer as well. Bobcats finally they played with a lot more energy here in the second half defensively.
And that will mark the end of the third quarter as the Bobcats down by 2 scores heading to the fourth, 35-21. It'll be 4th down for Ottumwa. Coming up, we'll get a scoreboard update when we come back. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Jeff Brooks here with a Central State Bank scoreboard update. West Marshall homecoming tonight in State Center. West Marshall currently leads Jessup 45-13 with 3 minutes left in the game. East Marshall falls to South Hardin tonight 48-0. And Roosevelt falls against Dowling tonight 37-0. Also Fort Dodge at Denison. Fort Dodge was leading at halftime. Grundy Center wins tonight 48-6 over Waterloo. Columbus will now return you to Leonard Coldfield in Marshalltown with Brandon Lewis and Dylan Dodes on News Talk 1230 KFJB.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for scoreboard update back there at the studios. 4th down for Ottumwa Bulldogs as we start the fourth quarter. 4th and 6 at the 35-yard line of the Marshalltown Bobcats. Mitchell hands off straight up the gut on 4th down. No, he keeps it himself, pulls it out outside the numbers at the 20-10. Flags fly at the end of the play. We might have holding as a Bobcat was down back at the 25-yard line. So on 4th down and 6, Mitchell gets in for a 34-yard touchdown rush, but it looks like it's coming back.
And it'll be interesting to see where they mark the penalty. That was a great fake.
It really was. Well, block in the back at about the 22-yard line.
And they threw a flag around up a little bit further as well. So where are they?
So a block in the back, and they mark it off, so it's back at the 31-yard line.
So
it's only a 10-yard penalty, and they gain a yard. So it's going to be 4th down and 3 yards. Ball on the far side of hash now. Heller is the B-back. Mitchell's underneath center. 5 down linemen for the Bobcats. So that's going to be a false start on the Ottumwa offense. One of the slots got moving a little bit early, and that's going to help the Bobcats out here big time. So 4th and 3. Dylan, do the math. It's going to turn
4th
into
and 8.
You stole it from me. No,
you said
fine.
do the math.
I
listen. I listen when I'm told to do something.
So it's going to be 4th down and 8. Sinclair comes off the field. Juan Pablo Perez is going to be back onto the field at corner. Looks like he's actually lining up more at safety with Sam Griesel. And timeout's going to be taken by the Ottumwa Bulldogs with 11:49 in the 4th quarter. Bobcats looking to get the ball back. They're down by 2 scores. A big situation here in the 4th quarter on KFJB-TV.
Life can take unexpected turns. Maybe you started college, but life got in the way. At Marshalltown Community College, we understand. It's never too late to chase your dreams. Come back to where your journey began. Rediscover your passion for learning and let us help you achieve your goals. Schedule a visit today at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
Welcome back to Leonard Coalfield. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me here tonight as the Bobcats, a big defensive situation. 4th and 8. Ottumwa's going to go for it here. Be sure to hit the like button and support our broadcast tonight. Also, be sure to subscribe. Get those upcoming game alerts by turning on notifications. Real quick, what do you think Ottumwa's doing?
I think they're going to 87. I think it's going to be a pass to the 6'4", 220 tight end.
Mitchell drops back end around to Chantalavon. He's got a 1st down, and he might have himself a touchdown. Makes a cutback at the hashes. Brought down inside the 10 at the 7. Luckily, Smitherman able to come in there and make the tackle. But Chantalavon, that end-around play has worked time after time here tonight.
Maybe you just go with what works because it always works. It was a great fake handoff into Heller's gut with his right hand while he had the ball to hand it off with the left. Nice ball work for Mitchell.
So 28-yard gain and a 1st down with 11:20 to go in the football game. A 2-score game right now as the Bulldogs leading 35-21. Looking to go up by 3 scores on 1st and goal at the 8. Chantalavon handoff, spins out of a tackle. Diving to the goal line, it'll be short. It will be 2nd and goal at the 2. It is a 6-yard pickup. And there's a bunch of hosses on that offensive line who have done a lot of tough work here tonight, including Braden Larkin, the left guard. I believe he might have been the one getting out and pulling on that last Chantalavon run.
They have just been really, really good. I was reading some articles, watching some of their interviews, and how many times they said weight room is because not only was Phil Light head coach at Staley, he was also strength and conditioning.
Mitchell keeps it himself on the QB keeper, gets into the end zone as he fights off Bobcats, and Mitchell makes it now a 3-score lead for the Ottumwa Bulldogs.
This is tough. I think, you could really just here you see it again. Was just able to keep on churning the legs, and the Dory method just keeps swimming, and he found the end zone.
2nd rushing touchdown of the night. This one comes with 10:29 to go in the football game. On for the PAT, Joe Hallgren. It's up, and that will be through again. He's only missed one time. He hasn't missed tonight as he makes it 42-21 our score. Bobcats trailing Ottumwa at Leonard Coalfield on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you want to kick off football season in a new recliner, pass the bread at a beautiful new dining set, or lay up on a luxurious sectional sofa, McGregor's is the right play. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from their friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selections at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
Yeah, Bobcat Live will hit the road this week as we will be at Zeno's.
And we'll be together.
And we will be together as we'll be broadcasting the homecoming parade from 6 to 7 out on Main Street in downtown Marshalltown, homecoming week. Marshalltown Bobcats will take on Waterloo West next Friday night right here at Leonard Cole Field. Kickoff at 7:30. We'll have coverage for you coming up next Friday night. Kickoff all presented by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate team. New name, same amazing service now with more options. Smitherman and Griesel back to return for the Bobcats as they trail by 3 touchdowns. Griesel picks up the kickoff right around the 10, gets around the corner. He's got a little bit of blocking, falls ahead to the 31 as he's brought down on the far side of the field here tonight. And so Sam Griesel been good on special teams here tonight, but it hasn't been enough as the Bobcat offense, an interception on their last offensive drive, and it was just not a great decision by the young quarterback in Jacob Hayes. He was trying to throw over 3 Bulldogs, and it ended up getting tipped and then picked off.
It's hard to throw over 6'4", 220 sometimes, and he's got arms for days.
So the Bobcats go back to work with 10:21 to go in this football game. Engel in the back. Hayes underneath center. He's going to drop back. Quick pass out to the far side. Caught up at the 35. Spun down right as soon as Kyle Smith makes the catch. It's a 5-yard pickup. And Kyle Smith heavily involved in the passing game. His 4th catch of the night.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with the quick passing game here in the second half. Get it quick out, pick up 6-7. We've talked about that. Can you throw it a little bit on first down to get ahead of the sticks? They've done well so far.
2nd and 4, Hayes back to the air, launches one out to the near side, and it is over the head of Sam Griesel. It is incomplete, and it almost sailed through the hands of Caden Lockwood, who was on the coverage, as he nearly ran that route for Sam Griesel on that play to bring up 3rd down and 4 with 9:50 to go in the football game.
I do like that Jacob got it out quick, and he missed far, not short. He didn't lob it up. He threw it to the end line to where it would have been very difficult for Lockwood to pick that off.
3rd and 4 out in the flat off the hand of Aiden Smitherman, and it will be 4th down.
It looked like it was there.
4th down and 4.
And so the special teams unit will not come out as it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, under 10, you're near midfield. You still think, hey, if we can get a play here, get it down to 2 scores, there's still time to do something if everything falls right.
Quick pass out to the far side, caught by Kyle Smith right at the chains. It looks to be a first down mover. So 2 Kyle Smith catches at the 41. It's spotted, and that'll be a 5-yard pickup and a first down.
And that's really found some rhythm. And what that does is if you keep able to get 5 or 6, if Ottumwa wants to come up, you can look at a double move and go. But there, yeah, just right at the sticks. You know, you look at pro and college, sometimes they don't know where the sticks are. Kyle did a perfect job of knowing where the sticks were.
Fake the handoff to England, pitch out to the near side. Sam Griesel has it, makes a nice move to slip up over midfield, or approaching near midfield. He'll be brought down at the 46-yard line. So decent carry right there on first down as Sam Griesel picks up 5 yards.
Joe Grave, he laid the wood on him. But you know, when Sam has gotten the ball this year, good things have happened. He had that 92-yard kickoff return, of course, but he was averaging about 20 yards a carry so far tonight. When he gets the ball, he runs hard, runs well. That's a pass.
Pass out to the far side, a double pass. Kyle Smith has it to Aiden Smitherman, caught up at the 35. and Smitherman will pull into the end zone for a touchdown as the Bobcats hit it big for a 54-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Smith.
That's a big one. That gets you down. Just what we talked about. Why do you go for it on fourth is, hey, you get a big play here. And you could see it. You could see it going to the double pass. And it wasn't a pretty pass, but Aiden was wide open, and that's a big play. Junior to junior to junior for 6.
Comes at 8:32 in the fourth quarter as Munghay is on for the PAT. It's up and straight through the uprights to make it 42-28. Bobcats trailing 8:32 at Leonard Colt Field, fourth quarter on KFJB-TV.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects. From learning how to build relationships and healthy lifestyles,
And gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Aiden Smitherman with his first touchdown of the season, as it's a 54-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Smith to Aiden Smitherman, and he was able to get it into the end zone to get the Bobcats back within 2 scores. 8:32, fourth quarter, 42-28, Ottumwa with the lead. Kickoff tonight, all presented by Century 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, thepolyrealestateteam.com. Luis Munghay is out for the kickoff, and it looks like it could potentially be an onside kick, just the way that Luis is lining up. And it will be an onside kick. It'll take a good Bobcat bounce initially, but it will go out of bounds at nearly 10 yards downfield. That was close to the Bobcats needing to pick that one up, but I think right on that line. So Munghay did a nice job, but it will be a penalty flag. And it'll be a Ottumwa ball.
It did the top spin, and then it almost started to circle back about that 8 to 9 yard mark because they didn't want to. You see it right about there. Then it starts to spin backwards, and then it kind of kicks late. And it, oh man, that was close. Opportunity.
That was. So the ball is going to be near midfield for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. That's a risk you take on that play, right?
Yes, it is.
But where there's no risk, Dylan, there's no reward. Yeah, I've been told that. Zach's amazed. I think Zach's got a lot to learn.
So do I.
All right, so ball went out of bounds, and Ottumwa will have it at the 49 in Bobcat territory. 8:31 to go in the game. Ottumwa will run right tackle. And it looks like, it was Chantalavan down. Owen Eaton is the man who lost his helmet right there on that play. Jackson Hinkle will come in and replace him.
He's lost the helmet a couple times tonight and had to come out.
I'm being told no risk, no Sonic after the game.
Well, gosh darn, that's disappointing.
Well, we don't have a Sonic here. The closest one is 2 miles in Ottumwa. I think it's like literally the only remaining Sonic in the Midwest that's still open.
And you only get Sonic if you win.
That's true.
That's our rules.
And we blew them out of the water and got Sonic last year.
With time to spare.
Well, it's a good thing we don't have a Sonic.
No.
I didn't want to drive to Ottumwa tonight anyway.
No.
Mitchell pitches out. Chantalavan around the edge, pushed out of bounds, short of the first down marker on 2nd down and 9. Looks like it's going to be about a 3rd and 1, maybe a 3rd and 2 for Ottumwa. And it was 4-down territory for him around this field position on their last drive. They were not able to get the well, they did. Never mind. They punched it in. They didn't initially get it. They had a penalty, and then they went for it and then got the touchdown later on that drive. A break the huddle with Mitchell underneath center. Heller is the back. We have not seen Ottumwa's leading rusher on the season in this game. Chantalivon end around. He was bottled up, but breaks out of it, and he's got a first down. Wow, somebody was in there right away in the backfield, but not able to bring him down.
Anga Pramana was not able to tackle him before the first down, but Anga has hit him hard both times. I like to see. Here we see right up in the middle. It
was Hinkle. He just wasn't able to quite get all of his paws on him. Dogs, cats, paws.
Living together. Cats and ducks.
Under 7 minutes to go in this one. 2-score game. Ottumwa with the ball and the lead. And a run right up the gut. And that's going to go nowhere really for Heller. And maybe a loss of about a half yard. So second down and long.
And this is where you start to look at how many timeouts there are with 6.5 minutes. Bobcats have how many timeouts left?
Just one timeout left for the Bobcats.
I'm trying to remember
Bulldogs
them
with
using
one.
two.
With one as well. Wide receiver split out to the near side. Chance Egbert. And somebody left a little bit early there. It looked like Flattery got going a little bit early off a slot spot, but a handoff up the middle goes really nowhere. Maybe a gain of about a half yard back for the offense, as I believe that was Heller up the gut. No, that might have been.
That was number
Chantalivon.
2.
Yep. And it was Chantalivon. So third down and 10, as the Bobcats have done a really nice job stopping the run on the last two plays. But again, tick, 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 tick with this offense approaching 5.5 minutes remaining in a 2-score game.
And they're getting out of the huddle. They will get right up there with 5 seconds.
Yep. Mitchell underneath center. That's a false start, it looked like. But Mitchell keeps it, pitches out far side. Chantalivon tackled just over the 35-yard line, and it looks like we're going to have helmet-to-helmet contact as the tackle came in there. And Jamison Niehaus making the tackle. Ottumwa coaches are pointing first down. But it looked like false start on that last play. It looked like the slots got moving early.
And it might be on Anga over there. I think Anga came up.
Niehaus was behind the play, but Engel was on the front side of that. Yep. So helmet-to-helmet contact, and that will be
a killer.
A killer. I don't think it was a targeting call by any means.
After the play, first and 10 Bulldogs from the Bobcat 19.
So the ball marked up at the 19 after the personal foul. And Ottumwa just using all the clock in the world as Heller's the back. Chantalivon comes in motion, the pitch out to him to the far side of the field. And we see a flag fly in off the edge as Chantalivon with a 10-yard run, but flags fly and it looks like holding.
If it looks like holding, sounds like holding, it's probably holding.
It probably is. Coverage of tonight's game all brought to you by Ethington Heating and Cooling. Ethington Heating and Cooling, we're not comfortable until you are. So after the penalty, it's going to be first down and 12.
Chantalivon has 272 yards on 22 carries tonight. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Along with 3 touchdowns. He's got a hat trick of touchdowns.
This is not hockey.
No, it is not.
Or else there would be squid on the football field.
And 28 points would win if it was hockey.
Many times over.
Yes.
Ottumwa taking the clock all the way down here as we're under 4 minutes to go. 15 on the play clock.
And this is where I feel like the play clock and everything gets going pretty slow here, and it just tick, tick, tick.
Time not on your side here, that is for sure. Heller, the fake handoff. Pitch out to Chantalivon from Mitchell. Flag flies in late. And face mask on Jamison Niehaus there at the end of that play. And that's going to be an automatic first down, and that's going to pretty much do it for this one. With 3:34 to go, they can work this thing down to about a minute to go, even if they don't get a first down. Tough one right here at the end of this game.
Seeing out, yeah, up there, clear as day.
Spun him
right
around.
there.
Yep. Clock will count as we're at about 3:15 to go in the football game. Fourth quarter, 42-28 is our score. Two-score game, Bulldogs on top. Bobcats have had their moments, just have not been able to kind of capitalize them on here tonight. But coulda, woulda, shoulda in a lot of these games. Chantalivon fumbles it away. Bobcats are going to hop on it, and just as it looked like this one was going to be over, Jamison Niehaus, who had the face mask on the previous play, recovers the fumble from Chantalivon. He totally redeems himself.
You know what? That was a great play and a great reference. Bobcats have 2 minutes, 54 seconds to work with. You see Monghay can't do the onside, but you got to get step one first. Bobcats have got to find end zone and find it as quick as possible.
Recovered at the 31-yard line on the Bobcats side of the field. Jacob Hayes will be underneath center. England is the B-back. Hayes will look to the air quickly, and it's picked. It's Derby. He's got it at the 31 and dropped as England makes the tackle. He was reading all the way, staring down Zane Moore, and just Derby read it and picked it off. He saw it for him.
You see the eyes right now, and there he goes.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the playbook.
Yep.
Flag was down, though, on the play, and it looks like unsportsmanlike conduct. Personal foul on Ottumwa. These teams, for being 2 hours away, they don't like each other, and it's been a little bit chippy here tonight.
Yeah, and one of the things, this is post-turnover, so Bobcats will not retain the ball on the penalty.
You heard that too.
Yes,
keep it classy,
yes.
Ottumwa.
Yes.
Well, that's why you come to Marshalltown.
Yeah.
Games don't get canceled at halftime because of gunshots.
No, hasn't happened to me here.
That's for sure. Well,
this is a tough one.
Yet.
This
hasn't happened yet. We still got 2:49 to go, Dylan. Can't rule anything out. Chantalivon around the edge. He gets the carry, a 2-yard pickup, second down and 8. All right, Bobcats going to drop to 0-5 on the season. And they don't, the schedule doesn't get any easier from here on out. Maybe, you don't want to call any game Lincoln.
Lincoln would be the one that isn't quite. Valley and Lincoln would be not quite like the others, but on the different end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Waterloo West was 4-0 coming into tonight. Ames has not had a great season. They've played better competition. So
they
then
were
you
getting
look
smoked 42-0 by Valley last time.
Yeah. And Valley, I think as we've talked, Valley may smoke a lot of people this year. They're a pretty good football team.
Yeah. They got Zay Robinson back. He was injured last year.
And he's a good basketball player, good football player. He's a heck of a player. He
has an offer on the table from Colorado, so it's not too late.
So I have not seen you since the Colorado Miracle win.
Against Baylor.
Yeah. I haven't seen you in a hot
I'm just
minute.
worried about tomorrow against UCF. That's going to be a tough one.
It is. It'll be a tough one. I get to watch all college football with no pits in my stomach because Iowa's got a bye week, so it's just me enjoying football.
The dreaded bye week. 2nd and 8 out of the timeout for the Ottumwa Bulldogs. Chantalivon, you guessed it, he gets the handoff, and he'll go off of right guard for a gain of 1.5 yards, and Bobcats are going to call a timeout here. Yohan Gomez drops down to the turf.
You look at,
and Bobcats called that timeout, but that right ankle bugging him, and he got that one rolled up on last week. So this is hopefully not a bad situation here for Yohan Gomez. Dylan, you were going to say?
I was going to say, when you look at the second half, I was looking down. Okay, they come and they get a touchdown quick, make it 35-14, but that's on a block punt. It was like an 8-yard drive.
It was set up, yeah.
And then you have a punt. Then it is that touchdown. You allow a sustained drive. Then you get a fumble. Second half defense has been a lot better, done a lot better since they switched to that 5-man front of making sure they're getting pressure in the run game.
Good to see Yohan up.
So it's those building blocks, but you build yourself such a hole. And right now the Bobcats have to just play like this absolutely game of perfection, and a dozen penalties, 2 interceptions, a blocked punt. There isn't a formula or a recipe where you win.
Well, with Iowa being on the bye this week, is there a nice recipe you'll be making?
It's my birthday.
Tomorrow.
I turn a lot of years old.
Oh, I forgot your birthday present at home.
Fantastic. I can't wait.
I'll give it to you next week.
That sounds like you don't have anything at your home for me.
Oh, I do. I really do. Chantalivon will get the handoff on 3rd down and 6. And it'll be brought down at the 40-yard line. It's a 2-yard pickup. And the Bobcats will burn their final timeout of the night on that play. So, anyway, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to mark it down because I wanted to bring up your birthday tomorrow.
Oh. Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
43. The big 4-3.
No.
Yeah.
Older than that.
Right now I'm as old as Ottumwa score. Tomorrow I leave my Jackie Robinson year, who I'm in another since both are huddling. Got to be at Dodger Stadium's Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Dodgers Shohei Ohtani is as awesome in person as you would think. Bottom 9, Dodgers down 1. Top of the lineup comes up. Ohtani hits a bomb to right. Next up, Mookie Betts. Bomb to left field, walk-off home run. That was a pretty cool experience.
Is your family doing anything nice for you tomorrow for your birthday?
I've had the craziest schedule this week, so I get to stay home and not do anything except for watch the band tomorrow at Oktoberfest.
That's awesome. Ohtani hit another home run tonight.
Of course he did.
I was elated because he hit that for my fantasy team, and I'm in the championship now because of it. Like anyone cares. Mitchell rolls out. 4th down. Behind his back, Chantalivon catches it, drops down at the 35. And that'll be a 1st down as they needed 3, and he picks up 4. And 2:27 remaining in the football game. I think I've said this a couple times tonight where that might do it, but I think that might actually do it here tonight. Chantalivon with a little bit of a hesitation move and then goes out in the flat and just found a little soft spot between 2 linebackers.
He was doubled in that zone part. But one thing, I think if you talk to Phil Light after this game, of course Chantalivon would be something. He'll talk about that offensive line. But I think he'll talk about Matt Mitchell as well. Matt Mitchell's 4 or 5, 54 yards, but he does have a couple rushing touchdowns, and he's been really good under center for them.
Well, he has physical play here on 1st down and 10. A run by Heller, driven back by a couple of Bobcats, including Jackson Hinkle. So 0-5, homecoming right around the corner. You hope maybe that can reinvigorate you as well.
Yeah.
Against a tough opponent, Waterloo West, which Bobcats lost against Waterloo West last year. A game always felt closer than it really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, one is the tackle's about, I can't recall the kid's names, about 6'7", 300 pounds, and then that back was quick as a hiccup.
Run on 2nd down and 10, and Heller runs it again. That one will set up 3rd down and 7.
I think that's Sinclair.
Yeah, Avery Mobley will sprint onto the field. I'll stop the clock with 59 seconds to go in the football game.
One thing I noticed on the sideline, which is a positive, as we had Jared Carlson up here talking about, how winning gets people, energetic, and numbers always go up. And so the inverse is true as well. Oftentimes losing, you see a lot of negative action. One thing I did notice is sophomore wide receiver went over to Jacob Hayes, and Kyle Smith were over there. They were shaking hands, talking, still more upbeat. So you like that body language even when it doesn't look like it's coming. You're not going to end up your way. So,
and I go back to other guys that have got injured in the past, and then obviously somebody like Xavier Anderson injured this year, but still committing to being with the football team. I think is an awesome aspect. That there's one thing about Xavier Anderson. I saw him, as we see a good moment here. Sinclair is up on his own. Good to see right there. But my favorite Xavier Anderson story, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. He was at a Bobcat baseball game, and he was chirping at the left fielder for Waterloo East, and he was yelling scoreboard, scoreboard a couple of years ago at him, and just and I'm like, he's not even playing baseball. He's there cooking brats for a wrestling fundraiser, but he's still bleeding the red and blue and giving it to the other teams. So.
I like it.
That was fun. That's when you know somebody's a true Bobcat.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so out of the injury timeout, 3rd and 8 as the clock will count here. It looks like basically another couple of plays here will do it.
They will be able to milk this down to.
This might be the final
18 seconds, yeah. And they're going to kneel it.
Mitchell will get underneath center. No, they're going to run it with Heller up the gut, and he will go pretty much nowhere, right into a wall of Bobcats. And that will be the final play of the game. And 42-28 will be our final score tonight as the Ottumwa Bulldogs remain undefeated. They're now 5-0, and the Bobcats drop to 0-5 with the loss here tonight at home at Leonard Cole Field.
Yeah, we just honored the 09 Bobcat team that went 13-1. This is the first Ottumwa team to have an over 500 record since 09. So this very well could be a team that Ottumwa brings back on anniversaries. They were stronger, they were better, and you can just tell when you when you put those two offenses next to each other, you can tell who's ran it for multiple years and who's in year number 1.
Yep. Still some growing pains for the Bobcats, but definitely a few nice moments, including the sophomore running back Tyler England getting his first 2 touchdowns of his varsity career.
Getting him in space is always a winning formula. He's got jets. I did like that they opened up the playbook a little bit, passed a little bit early, tried to move the football.
Yeah.
It just was too many mistakes for the Bobcats to be in this one late.
The Locker Room Report presented by Wells Fargo Advisors. Stats, player of the game, and we'll talk with head coach Adam Goodvin. That's coming up. 42-28, again, our final score from Leonard Cole Field. This is Bobcat football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Welcome back to Leonard Field. Marshalltown Bobcats taking on the Ottumwa Bulldogs tonight and drop to 0-5. Ottumwa is now 5-0. And Winter Bannison inviting somebody to homecoming.
Yeah, that was slick.
Oh, wow, and the GF? Question mark? Wow, that's.
And
I don't think she saw that part.
I think she's happy for everything.
Okay,
She's jumping
right.
up and down. That was.
Well, you're on KFJB-TV. Look at that.
That was one of the best, and Winter is so excited.
I think Winter just realized that it was on.
He has wanted to be on KFJB-TV for.
He was on Bobcat Live last night.
I had pointed
and earlier
out
this year as well.
See, he's getting on. He is. I don't think there's a kid happier for that. Kudos to Winter.
All right, so hey, there you go. Pose for the cameras as Winter Bannison. He's got his homecoming date next week as well. Wow, that's really synchronized there with the turning of the cards and all that. That's good stuff.
And they had the other cheerleaders had her turn. There was a cheerleader behind that handed them the bouquet of flowers.
Oh,
that
funny.
was if I.
That's
they
funny.
ran that play with effortless. Yes, if Amy could hook us up with one more, we have a post-game sweet play of the game.
That is true. That's 2 weeks in a row I've got choked up over something. And last week it was Joe with his hat celebration, and now Winter Bannison's
and you
got me.
just love.
That's true.
That's a little thing that people don't know about.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's look at a couple of the highlights for the Bobcats here in the second half as Chantelevon punched in one of his 3 touchdowns here tonight to begin after halftime, and that put Ottumwa up 35-14. And then the Bobcats would strike back just a few seconds later as a 52-yard play as Zane Moore caught it, flipped it to England for a touchdown, and the Bobcats got back on the board 35-21. As later in the game, with 10:29, Ottumwa would put on another score in the second half as Matt Mitchell ran it in from 2 yards out. The Bobcats would answer back 2 minutes later on a 54-yard touchdown pass. It was Kyle Smith who caught the initial pass from his quarterback in Jacob Hayes, and then Smith found Smitherman downfield for the 54-yard play, and the Bobcats 42-28, their final score of the night. Couple of big plays. England with 2 really nice rushes here tonight. Wasn't enough, but again, we say this kind of every week, some nice parts to the game, but not everything coming together to get a victory.
It's interesting. The talent allows for there to be moments. You know, England's got great speed. There's some talent on the outside. But also the talent where it's not as deep or as mature, you also almost have to be perfect to make sure those two measure up. And we just haven't got there. There's some nice pieces to look at. You have a big matchup with Waterloo West. You're going to have to play a lot better than this to be in that game. You just have to get better week in and week out. And hopefully Tyler England's got a lot of skills, and he's going to score a lot of touchdowns. And these first 2, hopefully they give birth to more next week as well.
Well, the Bobcats fall again to Ottumwa 42-28, now 0-5. Ottumwa is 5-0 on the season, as this is a team that's starting to really put everything together. They will take on the Ames Little Cyclones next week. It'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. Coming up, we'll name our player of the game, and we'll check out our Lily Mae Sweet Play of the Game. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Marshalltown Area Chamber. Meet in Marshalltown.com. Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction. And McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, quality furniture for every room in your home.
Well, it just seems like some of the sunsets lately around the area have been really nice as of late, as we get a look there around the viewing area. As we now time to name our player of the game tonight, all presented by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. That's right, Opa Grill of Marshalltown. Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say is Opa. Well, 2 touchdowns tonight for Tyler England, as he had a 39-yard touchdown rush and a 46 one. One was on a hook and ladder as he caught it from Zane Moore, but 92 rushing yards tonight. Those 2 touchdowns for number 24 for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Tyler England, he is our player of the game tonight, the young sophomore running back for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as Tyler England earns himself a $25 gift certificate to Opa Grill in Marshalltown for the Bobcat player of the game. Now time for our sweet play of the game, all presented by Lily Mae Chocolates, handmade, hand dipped since 1939. Always open at lilymaechocolate.com. Well, Sam Griesel has been involved in some sweet play of the games this season, and he teamed up with Aiden Smitherman as we look at the replay on KFJB-TV. Completely fooled Ottumwa on the kickoff return with the reverse as he faked it to Smitherman and took it himself as Gorsuch helped get him into the end zone. And that would be it on that play. That is our Lily Mae sweet play of the game, as they are always online at lilymaechocolate.com. We'll be joined by head coach Adam Goodvin when we come back. This is the Locker Room Report. You're watching KFJB-TV.
What does OPA mean? OPA means joy, enthusiasm, and approval. And when you dine at Opa Grill in Marshalltown, you'll understand why. With their made-to-order pastas, soups, and salads made daily with the freshest ingredients. Favorites include chicken parmesan pan-fried to perfection, fresh and light chicken lemon rice soup, and their signature Opa salad topped with seasoned gyro meat. Opa Grill Family Restaurant in Marshalltown, where you can dine in or drive through. All you have to say is, OPA!
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
42-28 our final score as the Ottumwa Bulldogs take down the Marshalltown Bobcats. Now time for a post-game chat with head coach Adam Goodvin. All brought to you by Edward Jones. Zach Wall, your financial advisor in Marshalltown. Now down to Dylan Doze with Coach Goodvin.
Brandon, I'm here with Coach Adam Goodvin. Adam, 42-28, and you look at no Cameron Maneri tonight, but number 2 continually able to churn out a lot of yards. When you look at that offense from Ottumwa, what jumped out to you? What was the biggest issue that the Bobcats had with it tonight?
I think it just came down to us just not making enough plays tonight. You know, again, they're in year 3 of this offense, and they're a veteran team, so they made more plays than us.
And then when you look on the offensive side of the ball, you did see a couple bright spots. You saw Tyler England not just get his first touchdown, but he got another one as well. As he gets more reps, more carries under his belt, what do you foresee for that young man?
You know, kid can run, and he's tough, and we expect him to continue to get better and be a solid football player for us.
And you also saw some different mix-ups on the defensive side. You saw at points 5 down linemen on the defensive side. Was that more because you know the flex bone and the run is coming, or is that a tip of the hat of maybe some defenses you may try later in the year?
You know, I think we were just trying to figure out what we could do to stop them. You know, I think we were really struggling to I think our backers were struggling to make reads and fly downhill. And, we also didn't have all 11 guys pursuit of the football. So we had guys that were expecting others to make plays, and you can't have that in this game.
And next up is Waterloo West. Had a good start to the year. Have them next Friday night, homecoming week. Good luck next week, Coach, and we will talk to you at Bobcat Live on Thursday.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dylan. As that is our post-game chat with Coach, all brought to you by Edward Jones, your Zach Wall, your financial advisor in Marshalltown. This is the Locker Room Report. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When heading to the stadium, don't forget to scoot through the Scooters Coffee drive-thru on the way to the game. With a variety of drinks to choose from, you can give your school spirit a quick boost before cheering on the Marshalltown Bobcats. Try one of the fall features like the caramel apple smoothie, a pumpkin spice latte, or maple bourbon cream cold brew to get you through the game. Scooters Coffee, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. South Center Street in Marshalltown. Proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat football.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Jeff Brooks here with the Central State Bank scoreboard update. Lots of final scores to report to you tonight. West Marshall at their homecoming in State Center defeats Jessup 45-13, moving 4-1 on the season. East Marshall falls to South Hardin tonight 48-0, and Ankeny beats Iowa City West 38-22 for their final. Roosevelt falls to Dowling tonight 37-0, and Nevada defeats Perry 55-0. Also, Southeast Polk against Sioux City East. Southeast Polk picks up the win 48-3. Des Moines Lincoln falls to Council Bluffs Lincoln 7-41, and Ames falls to Valley tonight 49-14. Also, Fort Dodge at Denison. Fort Dodge picking up the win 36-0, and Grundy Center wins 48-6 over Waterloo Columbus. BCLUW falls to North Butler 22-0, and Johnston beats Waukee tonight, 21-7. I'll now return you to Leonard Coldfield in Marshalltown with Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze.
All right, thanks, Jeff. As a lot of finals pouring in around the state here tonight. As Dylan, I know you obviously had the chance to talk with Coach here tonight. You know, week number 5, you hope that things are panned out, all that kind of stuff, but sometimes they don't come together for you, and like he also alluded to as well, Ottumwa's in their 3rd year of running this style of offense. It's not just a little change, you know what I mean? It's a kind of a philosophical change, and anytime you do that, whether it's in your life or work or like this on the football field, it can take a little bit of time, and nobody wants the growing pains, but it is sometimes an unfortunate part of it.
Yeah, I think the bigger thing in that post-game interview that I think came through is not all 11 guys are flowing to the football. You can, being that close, that is like, I think there's a couple effort issues too, is what I think he was alluding to.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably the thing that, reading between the lines, not putting words in anybody's mouth, but I think that's probably the thing he's more nervous about than just, hey, where are we at? As far as
because that's not
evolution.
A correctable thing.
No, that's
running the wrong route is a correctable thing.
Right,
effort
right.
is unfortunately not.
Yeah, so I think that's something that they have got to get fixed if they're going to compete next week.
Yeah, that is for sure. All right, we will step aside one more time, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up from Leonard Coldfield right here on KFJB-TV.
Miller Middle School turns 100 next year. It has served generations of Marshalltown students well. Education has changed dramatically since Miller opened in 1925. Miller faces a long list of challenges, including limited technology capabilities, lack of space for learning, gathering, and new programming to prepare our students for the next step in their journey. Voters will consider a referendum in November to reimagine Miller for future generations. To learn more, go to marshalltowncsdfuture.com.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sauteed onions and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
One final time back at Leonard Field as you take a look at downtown Marshalltown there, the courthouse in the background. It'll be busy down that way tomorrow morning with the parade as Oktoberfest is underway.
Yeah, we've already got our spot set up. We know where we're going.
You're those
people. We're not set up quite yet, but we know where we're going to be.
Sounds like you're set up.
It may or may not have.
It sounds like people already hate you.
Yes, they should. But I'm not. I get to go inside. I've got to hook up for a restroom.
Okay.
Maybe a good
check some
bubbly or
scores
something. I've got it all set up. I know where I'm watching it, and I will be that annoying parent getting real excited for the band coming down the street.
You gotta love it.
You do.
I love the bands in the parade. That's what I loved about parades when I was growing up in band.
It's always a blast. It's a great. Oktoberfest parade's one of my absolute favorite things that happens in Marshalltown. It's always for an awesome couple hours of entertainment because that parade keeps getting bigger.
That is for sure. All right, speaking of parades, we'll be covering a parade on Thursday night during Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV as the homecoming parade will be outside Zeno's. Stop by and say hi. We'll be out there broadcasting live 6 to 7.
And last year, I think it was Zach and I on the
I was in
parade coverage.
Colorado.
You were in Colorado, so yeah.
That was the Newton game.
So Zach is, yes it was. Zach is handing that back off to you nicely enough.
I love parades. Oh, thank you, Zach. Thank you. He handed it off to me.
I was saying literally, but it was, or figuratively, Zach took it.
He took it literal.
And it happened right here, folks.
I think that's a sign Zach is not a huge parade broadcaster fan.
Yeah, it was like the Olympic torch being passed up here. It's very similar.
Before then, we'll have Marshalltown and Des Moines North for homecoming volleyball action at 7:15. Look forward to that one. Volleyball is 4-1 when their games are broadcast on KFJB-TV this year.
Well, you get that KFJB rub, and everybody gets excited. You're on TV.
Sure. Yeah, and maybe the Bobcats will get their first football victory on a Friday night. Next Friday as they host the Waterloo West Wahawks. As we'll give Dylan a week to figure out what a Wahawk is.
How much wah could a Wahawk?
Last year, somebody took us serious, and they told us during a commercial break that it's a combination of hawk and Waterloo, and we're like,
we got
you're
it.
missing the joke.
We got it.
Anyway, what is a Wahawk? We'll find out next Friday night. Look forward to it. Hey, thanks so much to our KFJB-TV crew out here tonight as our stat guy. I called him Joe 17 times last night by accident at Bobcat. It's David Braga, though, on stats. Jeff Brooks, our radio producer, back at the studios. Keith Stewart, Joe Cornwell, common spelling on that. Zach Tomish, our producer tonight, as Dylan Doze alongside me. I'm Brandon Lewis. Have a great rest of your Friday night. Once again, a final. Bobcats fall 42-28, now 0-5 on the season. You've been watching Marshalltown Bobcat football right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, State Farm, mtownproud.com.